right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safely Liquid Beer Release podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM nasty big hello.
It's not static, AM radio.
It's the cool bed red hot Nielson show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
On the Nielsen Show right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Dustin Nielson, Lieutenant Eric with a YouTube Trev riding with us as well. Nielsen Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. How's the weekend, buddy?
Great, yours?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty good weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, both kids had hockey.
Yeah.
Marshall had a hockey tournament.
Get out in the ODR?
No, but that's my goal this week. I want to get the rink set up by like Wednesday.
Perfect.
Because it's flood city right now.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Flood city for like the next 10 days.
Flood City.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
USA.
It's gonna be absolutely terrific. So where are you at for Monday Night Football, my man?
Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge tonight. Loaded burger on special. We got a birthday to celebrate as well. Jocelyn's son Dom turning the 18.
No, oh
yeah,
boy.
Yeah. Gonna get him wasted.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he has to realize that from tonight on, he has to go to every single EST event that exists.
That's how it is, and we'll christen him tonight. So it's going to be a great night. Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, the Harbaugh Bowl.
Oh, the Harbaugh Bowl. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm actually kind of intrigued by this game more than the Sunday nighter, but we'll get into that as we work our way through the show today. Nielsen Show presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot, and of course, Black Friday pricing. Everybody's got the Black Friday pricing. They've got a ton of inventory on the 2025 Silverado 1500s. They're offering huge discounts, the best Black Friday discounts that you will find at a dealership in the Edmonton area. All right, we're not messing around. Here's more great news. They got a bunch of tough-to-find mid-size SUVs coming in. Equinox, I used to drive one of those. Trailblazer, I used to drive one of those. Trax, I never drove one of those. But they want to move these things before they even roll in. So reserve one now. These are not easy to find. www.southfortchev.com. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio this morning. Well, everybody's acting like I haven't been here in a month. The chat and the text line.
Wow, they're wondering where Will is, I think.
Yeah.
In fact, that mask. Get over here.
It is Will. It is Will. Surprise. Just kidding. It's me. We pretended like nothing was different. What is it? 32 days since I did a show. I love this. Get that away
welcome
from
back.
Me. Get that away from me.
I thought we'd have
I'm not Will
an
Fraser.
oyster to celebrate.
I'm not
here.
having an oyster. My
Come on.
doctor said I can't have oysters in the process of the recovery. Look at that shirt you have.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I ordered one of those.
The new range, yeah. Like the socks and everything. I want to dish them out. Well, that's one of the things you missed. I want to dish them out from his office, too.
Oh, man, he's got to have a stack in there for me.
I got the
ordered
list.
like 20 things.
There's a full-page list of things you missed. We've been kind of adding to.
Oh.
Wheels has sent back a get well song for Dusty. He said a goodbye song for Will, and he's got a welcome back song for you as well.
Do you think it sucks?
They all suck.
Yeah, I heard Will was really hard on him.
Terrible. Yeah. Will ain't playing around with that. Yeah.
All right, well, let's make that our morning announcements. Well, let me lay out the show for you.
Yeah.
I'm very rusty. I wasn't even sure if the boys would have me back.
It's been a long time.
Is it
You go
amateur
for
hour?
the Spengler some year, 2 weeks, like something like that. You'll miss a weekend here and there.
month is
vacation,
ridiculous.
but a month has been.
Yeah.
And such. I mean, this is the equinox of the times.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of splicing together.
I tried to sneak back early, but that wasn't allowed. It was probably good that I didn't. I feel much better today than I did on like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
So Tam was right. I had to finish my medicine.
But the sneaking back was a fun.
But I was I totally screwed up because I was just like, yeah, I'm going back to work on Thursday. She goes, oh, okay. And then she's like, yeah, but you didn't start your medicine until Tuesday. It's 10 days. I was just like,
gotta go.
she goes, do you have some left still? I was like, yes, I do. She goes, well, you're not going back to work. I was like, fine, whatever.
He did it for you.
Ruined my life. I was going to try to sneak back for the people.
He's doing it for you, yeah.
That's what I wanted to do. We'll get your morning announcements. We'll get to, that's good. Big stories yesterday in the National Football League. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. Darren Dreger is going to pop by. We'll spin the wheel for an anytime touchdown score for tonight. Keyword for the EST flyaway to LA as well coming up. Mike Taneer will pop by. The Fan Zone.
Fan Zone.
For fans first. We'll get into that. We'll talk about a quarter of the way into the season. Who are the Edmonton Oilers? Hey, that's always a fun one. Yeah, I can't wait till the midway point.
Well, they're a playoff team. You should have seen how many times they weren't a playoff team and then bounced back to be a playoff team the very next night. It was amazing, yeah.
I mean, I think a good sign for a team is a team that can go in and out of the playoffs throughout the regular
Whenever
season.
they want, yeah.
Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. That hurts coming up. Ryan Rishaug expected to pop by. The wrap for William Huff. We got lots to get to. You can text us anytime in the old Paris Jewelers inbox. That still exists, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Do
good.
they have a deal for you?
Oh, man. Early Black Friday is on now. Save up to 70%. That's almost giving it away for free. Incredible. Huge selection of in-stock gifts and engagement rings for the old classic holiday proposal. You did that. This guy was a holiday proposal
I told
guy.
the story to Will.
Oh, did he criticize you?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Oh, phrase. Hey, conch for phrase for stepping in, eh? What was good is that I asked Phrase, like, I don't know, 5.5 weeks ago, hey, man, like, would you like to fill in sometimes when I'm gone for CFL? He's like, yeah, I think I'd be interested in that.
Sure.
And then I was like, surprise, you're working for a month.
The odd Friday.
Yeah.
I think he would. It's at a point where he would pay us now, I think, to do these shows. He was having so much fun. Yeah.
That was always the plan. I've been healthy for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I have not. So a conch for all the EST staff, too, for keeping things above ground. I know there's some things I got to clean up.
You're going to have to tighten the...
But so a conch for the boys.
Here, yeah.
Conch for the boys.
And you know what? Conch yourself here.
I want to give a conch from my doctor, who eventually gave me the right medicine to get me better.
Eventually.
After
experimenting on you for how many weeks?
I went through a week of antibiotics and went
Try
back.
this.
I was like, dude, I'm worse than I was when you gave me the antibiotics. And then they're like, well, we'll give you this stuff. I was like, well, why didn't you give me this stuff 10 days ago?
Wow.
Yeah. But they said, we don't prescribe this very often anymore because it's addicting. But you need it. I was like, yeah, I needed it 10 days ago. So no conch for them, actually. No conch.
Conch yourself.
Yeah, you know what?
Please. The people want.
Hey, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up unless you don't care about my health. And we got a great day on Edmonton Sports Talk today, so it should be a lot of
busy week
fun.
for the Oilers. Great week for you to come back, eh?
Yeah. I didn't see. I've been so disconnected.
Yeah.
After they won that last game, I was like, yeah, all right, what do we got coming up? And then it's like they don't play till Friday. Stupid schedule. Whatever. Guys, did we conch Tammy? Yeah, Tam had to put up with me for a month. Tammy is an absolute saint. I already knew it before, but like she basically solo parented for like a month. Now, she didn't have to necessarily look after me because I was a lost cause. Like, I was in the basement. I couldn't sleep. It was awful. But she just say, conch for my wife. All right, enough conches. Let's get in your morning announcements here. 73 likes. Let's change 200 in the 6 o'clock hour today, baby. The boys are back together. Trev's mustache looks terrific.
Back in town.
Very impressed by the mustache. Glad to see it again. How are you doing, Trev? Missed you, man.
Oh, missed you, Dusty. It's sure good to see you.
Oh, sure good to see you too, Trev.
It's good to have the boys back. Will was amazing this last week, last month. But this is nice. This feels right. Like coming in today,
it's so weird
like
coming back to work.
It was weird seeing you.
You didn't even come in for the Sunday, like to kind of get your feet wet. Hey,
No.
like the Sunday night. This is it in cold.
Yeah, no, I was prepping. I was prepping for the show. I couldn't come in. I was thinking of trying to come by, do some work, but Tammy's like, no.
Yeah. Well.
Wait till you get back. I'll make up for it. I mean, I got lots to do around here. So, all right. So morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Yukon and McCord every single morning. And of course, the wonderful Jess Jackson on the way home. She's still working there, right?
Yeah,
you
she
never know
owes
what
me
happens
some
in a month.
pepperoni here soon. That drop's going to have to be happening.
What
soon,
what type of pepperoni?
Yeah, I bought it from her son's. Hot
fundraiser thing.
cheese jalapeno stuff. How are the boys though? You talk. It must be good reuniting with the boys, on the morning zoo.
I mean, didn't necessarily miss that, but it was good to chat with them. And in the future, you'll be able to hear it around 6:45 or something on 100.3 The Bear. All right, morning announcements. What did I miss? I mean, outside of everything, I had my work bag today. I was going through it. I pulled out my my draft prep sheet for the Scary Things draft.
Well, I think we'll start there. Scary Things draft. Your proxy is in the house here.
I got third. I'm sorry.
You know what? I thought Tommy was going to be relegated.
A controversial draft as well.
Was.
Myself and Jason were finishing on the exact same percentage point.
We don't even know what happened.
A tie.
Did anything end up coming out of that?
Quinn just went mute.
I think it has to be viewed as a tie.
Yeah.
I mean,
nobody wins.
That's how I viewed it as an outsider.
Over.
Trev, I like some of your work.
Sorry.
There's a few things. I was.
If I could go back, I'd change a lot, okay?
The one area, like I was holding my list while you were doing it. I was like, no, that's not there. But the one sound, you screwed up on the sound. You should have taken Unsolved Mysteries theme.
That would have been good.
And you took
What'd you call
War
it?
Sirens or War Horns. When you said War Horns, that's what I shut it off. I was like, War Horns, click, back to sleep. Okay, so that was the very first thing I missed. But
Yes.
I mean, what else you got? Because I had a few things I thought I missed, but you said you've been keeping track.
Yeah, well, and play along at home as well. 702-189-9999 or in the nasty chat if we did miss something that he missed. Kevin brought in a score cake, which we jokingly said was for Zach's birthday. This goes
Zach
so far
had a
back.
birthday while it was going?
Hey, it keeps going. Yeah. They both did. Both boys had it.
Two birthdays.
Happy birthday, Trev.
Thank you.
Score cake to which Zach ate all of himself. You missed Halloween, I guess. And what a costume you had.
Such a good costume.
What a costume you had. But you know what? Your condition almost made it. You fit the character well. You were sad and sullen. Yeah.
And I can wear that for our Christmas show.
Why not?
Clark W. Griswold.
Yeah, you're right.
Sad Christmas thing. I mean, I could
Run
do
the
it.
reel,
I've been
yeah.
waiting years to do that though. Because I was trying to get back in for Halloween. As funny as it was, I was just like, I think I can be back in by Thursday. Tammy's like,
Wheel him in.
And anyway, I missed 27 days after that. All right, so I missed Halloween.
We were waxing nose, hair, eyebrows. Iwanic waxed his nose, which we didn't think was going to happen.
Oh my God.
And he, hairy.
That must have been disgusting.
Yeah, a lot of hair. So the nose, hair waxing, the eyebrow waxing. LeBron James going off 3 straight triple doubles. Like Will made mention of it.
Did he?
Well, he did, but not to the extent that you would have.
Here, let me just do this.
We would have. Exactly. Well, a
That's
lot of
him
that
being the
going on.
GOAT.
Grey Cup week, the CFL playoffs in its entirety. The regular season was so much parity involved, and then not even a playoff predictor or leading into the playoffs, the semifinals, the entire playoff slate. Grey Cup week, the whole bit.
It's funny because I missed them, but I also called them.
Well, sure.
And I'll get to that. The West Final was the most disgusting thing ever. I'll tell you that story with the ugly during the good, bad, and ugly.
How about that Grey Cup? I mean,
I did not. I knew there was a path to victory for the Argos. I did not see path to blowout for the Argos.
It was great stuff. McDavid 1,000 points.
I missed that too.
We did that. You didn't wear a poppy.
I wore a poppy on TSN once, but that was it. But I didn't wear it in here. No.
You missed daylight savings time.
Oh, I love being here for daylight savings time.
Which, the annual debate of what does it mean? Should we?
And is it better to fall back or spring forward?
Blah, blah. Ray Gunn retired, the Olympic break dancer.
Oh, geez.
The Aussie.
I didn't know that.
He's right. That's something. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, which dominated the airwaves here in a lot of our Oxford.
Did you guys talk about it a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We filled a lot of time with that puppy.
I was in a hotel room somewhere, and I watched like the 2 fights before.
That was Grey Cup weekend.
There was
like Friday.
Yeah, it was Grey Cup. I guess I was laying in Vancouver, and the fight between the two women was insane. And then the other Tyson Paul kind of went how we should have expected, but we were all delusional and thought there would actually be a fight there.
Well, we also talked the conspiracy theories surrounding it. There were times where Tyson could have gotten a good uppercut.
He looked good early, and then he just
right. Yeah. And so when Jake Paul stuck his tongue out, that was a sign for him to scale back.
I wish Tyson would have popped him when at the end when he went like this to bow to him. I wish Tyson would have just clocked him. That would have been the greatest moment in sports history.
Will was telling everybody it was fixed. And he broke Jasmine's heart because she thought it was extremely real.
Did he convince her that it was fixed?
It took weeks and weeks of wearing her down to a nub, but yeah. Iwanika got hacked, a crypto hack on his Instagram.
I checked
he got his
in on the Hangout.
And he's got it back.
Yeah, I checked in on the Hangout. I think the day it happened, or I saw the tweets. Tommy was like, and I can't tag Iwanika because he's been hacked.
Yeah, by a crypto bro.
What?
Yeah.
But he got it back.
He was sending people advice in the DMs.
Really?
Hey, if you want to, hop on.
So how did he get it back? The guy was just like, I can't.
You got to pay. It's a scam now. Zuckerberg and the Meta.
Wait, Iwanika paid to get his Instagram back?
I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. Yeah. I said, what did you have to? And he's like,
oh, I want to know that number.
You got to get in on this.
I want to know that number.
Yeah. Troy, the Godfather, he's been here more than you over the past month. He's been in on a few shows.
Sense. He's been checking in on me, actually.
Oh, good.
How you doing, Dusty?
Yeah. See you at the casino tonight, Troy.
Godfather cares about the health of his former brother-in-law.
Jesse Pugliarvi scored last week, and we said it was like a sign, like white smoke coming from the Papu.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Of course I saw it. He opened the score.
It means Dustin Nielson will be back soon.
The Penguins also suck. God, are they bad?
Well, we did have people leaving chicken tendies and milk out on their doorstep.
Makes sense.
To see if you would, and if there's no bite or drink taken, it means another day off for Dustin Nielson.
You know what? That's a fun
He's not
bit.
out gallivanting around.
I wish I would have known, because I would have gone and had a bite.
Yeah. The birthdays from YouTube Trev and Zactium.
Trev, what are you, 26 now?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, and what's Zach, 22? 21. 21. God.
And your move, you moved into a
you're in a new home
place.
God, and you said you love it?
Gonna have the boys over as soon. So whenever I can find a time, we're all.
Do you have hardwood flooring, or do you have some carpet in there?
Hardwood, a little bit of both.
Nice, that's the best
kitchen,
mix.
Kitchen, living room, hardwood floor, bedrooms, carpet.
That's where you want carpet.
Yes,
good
absolutely.
work, man.
It's awesome, man. I loved it. Like this last weekend, I didn't really do anything, but it was just so awesome, and I am gonna get used to it. I tell you what, it was just so much fun.
I basically had my own place for the last month in my basement, like
the dungeon.
I wasn't allowed to go up and hug the kids. Tammy's very germy. She's like,
good.
Stay away.
Did you rig up a bell system and a dumbwaiter where she sent food down the chute to you? And
No. I found this app, SKIP Dishes, and I ordered some. Now, with that being said, for 2.5 weeks, I barely ate anything.
Yeah.
But coming back around a little bit.
You're looking trim.
The best way to lose weight is by being sick.
Just get sick.
That's what I kind of realized.
McDavid and Nurse are also injured, and the entire World Series.
And Nurse is already back.
Yeah, he's back.
And he was injured when I was. Yeah, that's crazy. And I missed the entire World Series.
The entire show.
Who won?
Well, not Iwanik's Yankees.
That
was fun too. Ripping him and all
won.
that, and the World against Matty. And
if I had to bet on somebody, I bet you. Did Freddie Freeman have a good series?
It was decent, I think.
I knew it. I knew Freddie
it was a while
Freeman
ago, but
series.
I think he did all right. Yeah.
God, it's
that seems like it was shorts weather.
Yeah,
I remember for a few days when you left, and now we're ho-ho-hoing.
I know it's not confessions today, but I have to say, I'm very much enjoying early winter.
It's great.
I said this to my wife yesterday. I said, I like hunkering down and having to earn it a little bit when you go out.
Well, if it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
You might brown coldness sucks. You know what I'm saying? This is it. American Thanksgiving this week.
Yep.
The NHL,
Football,
we're here. We are here.
So many things.
I assume you've gotten the tree up?
Nope. We don't do the tree until December 1st or whatever.
Yeah.
That weekend, first
Advent.
weekend of December.
You like the Advent candle?
Yeah, pretty much. We'll do Pop-Tart houses. Things like that.
Got mine up yesterday, so I'm
Your tree's up,
I'm
ready to
locked
go.
in, baby.
You know what?
Full chub.
If Tammy came to me right now and said, let's put the tree up on November 25th or 6th, I'd say, okay. I'm in that spirit now.
4 or 5 weekends till? We cracked the Advent calendar for Wayne's, too.
I see it. Don't get me wrong.
Baby.
Pretty excited about that right there. We'll get to that.
100.
Whoa. God, this is amazing. Let's keep her going. Hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube. We've got lots to get to. Let's see. What else did I have here that I missed? What
did you miss that you missed?
Well, I missed dressing up on Halloween. Oh, I missed Maddie's reaction the day after Trump won. How did he handle that? Probably not good. I would have liked to have been here for that day for the conversation at least. And Chris Morris. Chris Morris wasn't even the president yet.
Morris got elected, and the Hervey announcement as well. Yeah,
I watched all of the Herv stuff last week. Elks fans, you got to be pretty fired up right now.
EST was all over it.
Like it was great coverage. Boys were terrific, but I can't think of two better people from a passion for the organization perspective to put in place than Chris Morris and Ed Hervey. Like, it just, they're going to do everything they possibly can to restore the respectability of this franchise. I absolutely loved when Herv said that the Elks are viewed as the laughing stock of the Canadian Football League.
Some people didn't like that too much, but why not? He's telling the truth.
This just in.
Yeah.
It is 100% the truth. It's just the way it's been for the last 2 or 3 years.
Hard truth.
I'm all across the league. I hear it all the time. I don't want to bring it up because it's absolutely heartbreaking and we don't need to discuss it all the time. But when Herv stands there and says that the Elks are pretty much viewed as the laughing stock of the Canadian Football League, he's 100% accurate. And him and Chris Morris will not allow that to continue.
But maybe not as much as the Stamps, given those revelations over the past couple of days. You heard about that.
Which one? The Stamps? It's turning into a little
no
bit
hot
of
food
there.
like,
what's this hot food thing? I didn't see this.
They just get like cereal and bagels like
for breakfast.
The Argos, those former Stamps players are just ripping them.
Oh yeah.
Like it's they got nothing. Like if you get hurt there, they're like, put a salt tablet. Pretty much.
Gargle salt water.
Yeah.
Nielsen's mom says you should gargle salt water for your busted up high ankle sprain. All right. Well, okay. Well, fill me in.
Trev,
What
do you
else
also have the logo?
What logo?
Oh, well.
I saw this. The tube socks for the Lieutenant Air.
Tube socks got to work. Yeah, Trev was putting it up there. And I had the Dream Team actually from William Huff scheduled for today. We're going to wrap the entire studio here. But you, of course.
You're back.
One day.
That wouldn't have been something.
They were this close.
If I was out to the New Year, I mean, that would have been something. Senior Boots texts in. Paris Jewelers inbox. Can I get a conch for my wife, Sea Bears, who rushed me to the hospital and stayed with me for hours as they stitched up my fingers after a table saw mishap. Oh, boy.
My question is, how are you texting in?
Yeah.
You're doing your feet like, wow.
Yeah. Adam in Quebec City says, guys, let's not forget that a World Series began and ended. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I missed everything. Who misses a month of work? It's absolutely embarrassing. Whatever. I'm back. Haven't even coughed once. 25 minutes into the show, I'm fighting it. I can feel it a bit. I'm fighting it. But I mean, we're off to a pretty good start. Man, I don't need to see text from a teeth.
Oh, no.
Oh.
It's... welcome back.
Man.
Welcome back.
Let me text Tanier. I'll see if we can move Tanier. If not, he's out of luck.
Yeah. Well,
let's.
He should know that it's your first. You should make. Screw the other thing.
Let me see. We're talking about Rishaug.
Yeah, it's. I think I only spoke with him once though while you were off for the entire month. Given
Really.
We had Remembrance Day. I was off for a day. He missed a day, so he was waiting for you.
That must have been it.
The candle was burning.
Okay, I texted Tanier, see if we can move him to. I guess it would be 10:30 Eastern, right? Yeah. Let's see. Then we'll let Rishaug wait for a second.
Tanier's fluid.
Yeah, we'll see. He's just sitting in that chair staring at the screen all the time anyway.
You missed that too. It's happened a couple of times.
I coughed. Him just sitting there watching?
I love it.
God, I love Tanier.
It is one of the best additions.
I love Tanier. All right, let's get into that's good. Let's go there. We got to talk about that Edmonton Oilers game over the weekend.
Hey.
Holy smokes.
All it takes is a hockey night in Canada against an 06 team. Hey, that's what you need. That's the elixir, baby. That's that game against the Wild on
Yeah, that one went exactly as expected. I'm just going to be honest with you. I made money off the Minnesota Wild that night.
As you should.
But I gave it back because I thought the Rangers were going to pump them too. And they came out and played extremely well against the Rangers. That's good. Brought to you by the Italian Center Shop. I emailed Ryan over there yesterday because I don't know what it is, and maybe I just got these Christmassy, cheery feels, but I feel like there's going to be multiple trips to the Italian Center during the holidays.
Hell
for me.
yeah.
Maybe it's a very holiday type of thing.
Maybe
right?
Santa might even pay them a visit. Huh?
Santa at Italian Center. Now I've heard of everything. Oh my goodness. Where's Santa? He's in front of the cheese wall in Sherwood Park. That would be pretty good. That's one of the things I have decided I'm going to be a little bit more of a hard ass post sickness.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good.
We'll see if it plans out, but we'll see.
I'm calling you the sheriff.
Yeah, ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna get spurs on my winter boots. That's good. Is like that was their best game of the season, right? Had to be. I know everybody talks about a win over Pittsburgh, but have you seen Pittsburgh? The three of us could beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. The way that they came out just right off the bat against the New York Rangers, I think for Oilers fans, you must have been super stoked, but also extremely frustrated that team can play that game against the Rangers, but then you've seen so many duds throughout this season. Like it's just, they played awesome against the Rangers. It was incredible. I thought it was just a phenomenal game.
They beat up the Preds. I mean, they beat up the Canucks also Hockey Night in Canada and that later of the doubleheader out in Vancouver, but those were kind of goals in bunches and the Canucks are what they are. But given the opposition, yeah, you would have to say. And I mean, you pull out all the stops. You got a week off now. You kind of get it all out.
We can discuss and debate, is it a good thing or bad thing?
It's got to be a good thing right now.
The break?
Given the sickness going through the room, all this stuff.
I think so, too. Trev, how impressed were you with the game against the Rangers? I mean, how come where's that game been for a month and a half?
Gosh, yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what was said before the game. I don't know what they drank. I don't know what they ate, but they came to play that night. Was it the Rangers just not used to all this snow? I don't know. But that was for sure their best game of the season. And I go back to the game against Pittsburgh as well. That was also a great game, but it was shift after shift for this game. Grade A scoring chance. They'd come down, there's a grade A scoring chance. They'd go back, they'd get the puck, and whether they changed the pace of play, whether it was fast or whether they'd play it, they'd slow it down. New York had no answers to what the Oilers were doing to them. So it was awesome to see. I tweeted Vasily Podkolzin will be last year's Connor Brown, to which he scored 1 minute later. So I was happy about that.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's weird how the world works. It was good. That second line was awesome. The first line looked really good. McDavid was absolutely bringing it. But that was the first game all year, like a quarter of the way in. That was the first game all year where I kind of felt like that team reminded me of last year's playoff team. I was just like this feeling. I'm like, where have I felt this feeling before? Oh, it was watching the Oilers in the playoffs last year. And it made me think just like how good the Oilers were last year, because it was like shift after shift, they were getting those grade A scoring chances, and it just kind of made you realize like how far, they still need to climb. But now they can play that game, and it was against a really good team. So there's a lot to be happy about.
I was stunned by it because up until that point, they had one win against teams that were currently in the playoffs, and that was against the Calgary Flames. Like they had been beating up on bad teams and had been losing to good teams. So to see them not only come out and beat a really good team, but take it to a really good team, that was the first time all season I thought this team might be able to be in the mix for a Stanley Cup.
Considering you're saying that, though, 22 games in, though. It's
a quarter of the way in.
Problem there.
Which is why we'll get to it during the fan zone. Like, what is this team? I know it's going to be probably a little recency bias after the way they played against the Rangers, but I mean, we'll get to it with the fan zone.
No, that's the Kapanen effect. Eh?
Yeah. Hey, you always need a Finn, right? There's always got to be one of them. And he's going to fit we'll see. We'll see. He moves well.
Finn right in.
He looked good. He read off McDavid a few plays. Like
he moves well.
He knew where to go.
He can
on
skate.
a few of those plays. Yeah.
D-Rock wants the Podkolzin goal song.
Well, I told you, I texted you guys a couple weeks ago, said I'm not coming back till Podkolzin scores. As a show of support, it was like a hunger strike.
Sure, yeah.
It's basically a Podkolzin hunger strike. And he scored. I'm back. His parents were in town. More on that with the good, bad, and ugly from the weekend. We'll get into that just before 7 o'clock. Darren Dreger scheduled to join us just after 7 o'clock. Rishaug's trying to move his hit from 8:30 to 7:30, but that'll only work if Tanier can move his hit. So we'll wait and see how this plays out.
TikTok. Hey?
Yeah, we'll see if we can flip that around. He'll switcheroo. So we'll get into that a little bit as we work our way through the show as well. We got a sports update coming up on the other side. Recap of NFL action yesterday. And, man, some interesting games yesterday in the National Football League. We'll definitely get to that. Good, bad, and ugly. It's good to be back. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. Let's change 200 here before 7 o'clock this morning. Look at this text from Morgan. What world have I come back into? Darnell Nurse is also playing his best hockey since forever.
No.
How long was I gone?
After a head injury, too.
What is happening here? I would agree, though. I mean, he's been good for about 7-8 games. That would be a game changer. If you can get that recent Darnell Nurse the rest of the way. Ooh, boy. Not going to say worth the deal, but he's played well lately. 100% agree on that. All right, let's get to sports update with Lieutenant Eric.
Saquon Barkley rushing for an Eagles record 255 yards. He also added a pair of touchdowns as Philly won its 7th straight, 37-20 over the Rams. The Eagles improving to 9-2 with the win. The loss dropping LA to 5-6. You can join me tonight to wrap Week 12 at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It'll be the Chargers hosting the Ravens. Loaded burgers on special. Mitch Marner scored twice as the Leafs dumped Utah 3-2 in the lone game in the NHL. Toronto have won 4 straight. 11 games around the league later this evening. The Oilers are off until Friday when they visit Utah. Following Saturday's win over the Rangers, the Oilers are 11-9-2 on the season. Edmonton Oil Kings blanking the Red Deer Rebels 5-0 on Teddy Bear Toss Day down at Rogers Place. Edmonton wrapping its 3-game homestand with 3 wins. They're in Calgary Friday to battle the Hitmen. Cavaliers improving to 17-1 with a 122-108 victory over the Raptors. Elsewhere, Jaylen Brown finished with 29. Celtics outlast the T-Wolves 107-105. James Harden had 23, leading the Clippers over Philly 125-99. 76ers now 3-13, and the Heat beat the Mavs in overtime 123-118. 9 games around the association tonight, including the Raps in Detroit, to take on the Pistons. Sports Update brought to you by Nisku Glass. We want to thank EST and all the listeners and viewers, and what better way than to give them a deal. Mention Edmonton Sports Talk or present your Nasty Club membership for a 10% discount on windshields, glass, or any of your window and door orders. Call us today to get that ugly broken windshield replaced or to start planning your winter and spring renovation projects now.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew, we got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew, my wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online, we catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind, 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest, to Tutti and Eric and all of the bad cats, like Rishaug and Noodles. Captain can gauge it, if it's a fun but a cool bet to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Shaggy's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some antics and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Be left to tie a fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macaroon, Rapaport, Dreger and Tanier. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about them give a present, does he go for? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
6:36 on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here, Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. And it's nice to be back. I'm just excited. I really like my job. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Names all over. I mean, this is
great.
We did have a guard of honor to usher Will out the Russian spa.
sense.
They all stood on the steps. They gave him a fruit basket. But
Yeah.
the same should have been done for you this morning. Everybody should have
Coming
showed up
back in,
early
yeah.
and ushered you up the steps, carried you up
Would
the
have been
steps
nice.
on a platform or something.
Can you imagine that? Yeah, that would have been good. The Godfather's and says, good to hear Dusty back in the radio, but you should check his permission slip. He may have forged Tammy's signature. Yeah. I did that on something recently. Can't remember what it was.
Really?
But I signed
An
it.
official
and
document,
it looked
eh?
brutal. I was just like, oh my God, this is my best Tammy signature forgery? Like,
Tammy.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah. I only put one M in it. They're going to call
Yeah.
me on it for sure. Babbage Stats with a great text to the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Darnell Nurse falls down a well and his play goes cross. Kicked by a mule and it comes back. I don't know. You know where that's from?
It's kind of, it works. Like he gets hit.
That's a Cousin Eddie line from Vegas Vacation, I think. Is that a Vegas Vacation?
I saw an advertisement for the Christmas Vacation, which is, tis the season, right?
I'm going to wear the costume and watch it. That's like Inception. That'd be great. Nielsen Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. South Fort's Black Friday pricing is already ready to roll. They got a ton of inventories on 2025 Silverado 1500s. If you are looking for a truck, you will not find a better discount anywhere else in the area. Talking the Edmonton area, and you're like, Dusty, you probably, I'm not lying. Best prices you'll find on Silverado 1500s. Simple as that. And they've got the midsize SUVs coming in that are hard to get your hands on. The Trailblazers, the Trax, the Equinox. They're ready to move them before they even roll in. So if you want to reserve one, get a hold of them today. www.southfortchev.com.
Christmas Vacation confirmed. The line.
Was it Christmas Vacation? Because they're
Nasty
like
Chats.
not cross-eyed anymore. That's
Yeah.
right. All right. Sorry about that.
Very
My bad.
apt though for nurses. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah.
It's just let them be now. Don't
don't do anything.
Don't
fix it.
touch them. Just let them be. That should be good. All right, Ryan Rishaug will join us at 7:45 today. So we're going 3 guests in
Wow.
the 7 o'clock hour.
Business
I know.
hour, yeah.
Back to work, I guess.
Yeah.
I was planning on having a lot of fun.
Real blue collar.
Fan zone at 8:30 though. Let's switch that
Fan
around.
zone.
We'll get into. And all I'm doing with Rishaug today is talking Ed Hervey hiring. We'll see how,
he was there.
how that goes. I know he was there. We'll get into it. It's on my list of things to discuss with him. Let's move the fan zone over there. All right, National Football League. One more time, Rick. Where are you going to be tonight?
Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. We have a
Yes.
birthday to celebrate tonight, an 18th. Dom, son of Jocelyn, who's been to every single Monday and Thursday night thus far this season. And hell of a game.
insane.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
What
and
a
she's
run.
battled through some stuff. Chargers Ravens tonight. The Harbaugh Bowl should be a good one for your Monday nighter. Loaded burgers on special as well. So get out there. Let's have a good time. We'll be spinning the wheel as well later, so we get a little bit of something on the line tonight as well. So it should be a great night.
She's straight up earning an Esty.
Yeah,
You know, the most committed AM NAS. And when you're at every single Monday and Thursday night. How do you top
Jay,
that?
her partner, has also been joining. She left him at home once because he was in the doghouse, and last week he was sick, so he made the adult decision to stay home, which is good for him. Shouldn't blemish the record too much, but it does involve an asterisk. She's getting in so far perfect. It's perfect.
It's unbelievable.
Perfect score.
I'm very, to be honest, I'm stunned. I'm stunned at
amazing
that
stuff.
level of commitment.
And
Like,
now the home stretch.
yeah.
You got this 3-4 week December stretch before. Can she do it? Will she be able to get it over the line?
I have faith.
I do too.
I have so much faith.
She will not be stopped.
Conch.
They were also at Wheels Place for Grey Cup.
Come on.
Yeah.
No way.
I was invited, couldn't go, but
That's amazing.
yeah, I have video. I'll show you after the show.
I got to see it.
You do.
I have to see it. NFL action yesterday. How good are the Detroit Lions? I know this probably ends in a playoff disappointment somewhere along the way. Just because Detroit Lions fans can't have nice things. But my God, the Lions are impressive.
What week is that again? Lions and Bills. Yeah. Week 15. Sunday, 2:25. Bills at Lions. I'm like, mark your calendars right now.
That's what they say in the biz. That's a big one.
That's
Wow.
But I mean, the Colts, yeah. There are a couple stinkers.
But like the thing is, like with the Colts, they gave them nothing.
You're taking care
You know
of
what I mean?
business.
Like
You're
they
taking
just
care of business, yeah.
another comfortable,
Yeah.
significantly into double digits victory.
Yeah.
It's not squeaking by the Panthers like the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I
Haas
mean?
lost
Like,
a big one too, a Grey Cup weekend. Chiefs lost, Jets lost, and
Yeah.
I had to remind him the Chiefs lost because I knew he was so.
I saw Huss
enthralled with
at
the
Grey
Bombers.
Cup briefly. I only saw him. He was going to a party that I bailed on 15 minutes in because I was coughing up a lung.
Yeah.
And I saw him. We were like socially distanced, like back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was good
Remus?
to see. It was good. Saw Remo too.
Good.
Remo. He was with Remo and Jeff Hamilton.
Love it.
And the whole crew, the Winnipeg crew, was in the house. Anyway, Lions and Chiefs both win yesterday. The Miami Dolphins offense, since Tua has come back. Now Tua will. I mean, if he can stay healthy, their offense looks insane.
Well, who do you like more, Bo Nix or Tua? I mean, they're both kind of now. The game is afoot.
I mean, if I had to take somebody right now, it would be, if they're both healthy, it would be Tua. And
and Nix is in the driver's seat with the record the Broncos have, but it's just
still the Miami offense since Tua came back has been insanely efficient.
Yep.
They hung 34 on the. I know it's the Patriots. I get it.
but you got to to get in the wild card.
and they did
straight win.
Tyreek Hill had like 35 yards. It was Jalen Waddle had a big day. Jonnu Smith had another big day. Yeah. So that was big. Houston. This is a tough one. Houston doesn't change much. They got the division under full control here, but still a loss at home to Will Levis.
Even they played the Cowboys prime time last
Stinky.
week, and they should have. I mean, they didn't really trounce them or anything like that. But yeah, Norman Combine, where are you? Come out wherever you are.
Packers rolled over the banged up Niners. I don't really read too much into that game.
No.
Niners are missing a bunch. Packers, I was expecting to win anyway.
Did they win the Daniel Jones lottery?
I think Vegas is going to win the Daniel Jones
with
lottery.
Minshew now. Yeah.
With Minshew getting hurt.
Collarbone.
I have in my notes here, Broncos, dare I say it, they look somewhat impressive.
Well,
I mean, the Denver Broncos, I'm not picking the Denver Broncos to roll in and upset Kansas City in the playoffs.
They
or something
almost
like
had
that.
him a couple weeks
They
back.
gave him a good test.
Great defense.
But man, quick turnaround for the Denver Broncos this year.
Yeah, wild card.
Got to be pretty happy with that. The one game that I want to spend a little bit of time on, though, the Commanders losing at home to the Dallas Cowboys, and the way it went down.
Look,
hurts.
You want to deal with magic? You want to deal with Hail Mary magic? This is just the bad side of magic.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Idiot kicker, man. So if you missed it yesterday, the Commanders and the Cowboys. The Commanders were down 10. They got a field goal. They didn't get the onside kick, but they forced a punt. And then Jaden Daniels, who helped me yesterday secure a bye in the first round of the Spite League playoffs.
We need an update on this. Yeah.
Yeah, 9-3. Oh, I will be after
very
this week.
Respectable.
Oh yeah. Full control of the division.
Who are you? The Eagles?
It feels like it right now. Man, I wish I had Saquon on that team.
Yeah,
though.
well.
Holy smokes, what a freak. Anyway, if you didn't watch the Commanders-Cowboys game, Commanders basically, I mean, the Cowboys had to make a tackle inbounds and the game was over. Jaden Daniels hits Terry McLaurin. He goes untouched for 90?
That speed,
88, 89
that speed
yards?
was
he took
insane.
off. God, that's why I love this guy.
Video
for 5
game
years. Like,
yeah. We
anyway.
did one of his jerseys too. That's another thing he missed. It's interesting.
God.
That McLaurin Commanders is beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful.
What a great giveaway. Anyway, so Terry McLaurin takes it to the house. It's a 1-point game with like 11 seconds left on the clock. And Siebert, their kicker, comes out. And it was a low snap. They tried to get it up, but he hooks it. And then they kick an onside kick, and the Cowboys take it back for a bloody touchdown. But that's a tough pill to swallow. I was reading some numbers last night, I think, on the kicker for the Commanders. And he had not missed an extra point all season, missed 2 of them in the game against Dallas, and had only missed 2 field goals all year. They were outside 50, and then he missed over a 50-yarder in this one, too. So
Austin Siebert and the commentators, too, oddly enough, he must be feeling butterflies right
They
now.
said it.
Like,
Yeah.
you got to get off of that. But it's funny, the Commanders, they've lost 3 straight. You factor in that Hail Mary win as well, which, that is magic, too. But on the positive side, just what are the Washington Commanders, right?
I mean, I don't care what they are as long as Daniels keeps putting up good fantasy numbers
Well, that's
through the fantasy
for
playoffs.
you, for
That's
the Spite
it.
League. I mean,
That's all I care. Daniels had 7 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown, 275 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 picks.
decent.
That Terry McLaurin touchdown was 86 yards. So, what do you expect tonight, though? I don't know what to expect. Ravens charge. Like I have no idea how this game is going to go. I think close game, but who knows?
Yeah, that should be it. And when you look at the Chargers and the Ravens, both sitting second in the division, 7-3 for LA and 7-4 for Baltimore. It's one of those things. Exciting regular season teams. Does it matter if they make the play? Like, I mean, I know we were all talking about the Ravens start of the season as we should. Maybe they found the running back, the running game, and all this, but the defense as of late has been putrid. It should be fun, as you mentioned. I hope for a primetime game, and coming into this one as a neutral should be entertaining. The Harbaugh storyline's always great, the brothers, all that. But I don't know where this goes. But the touchdown wheel tonight is populated, and it's looking good.
Yeah, there'd be some
good names on there.
There's some okay
Both
names
sides
on there.
of the ball, yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that as we work our way through the second hour of the show, which is jam-packed with Dreger, Mike Taneer, and Ryan Rishaug coming up in hour number 2. All right, let's get into our good, bad, and ugly from the weekend, maybe even from the last month.
Hey.
Who knows? I mean, we can certainly play that game. Lieutenant Eric, what's your good from the weekend?
That's got to be the Oilers win over the Rangers. It's a hockey night in Canada, original 6 team in the backyard. And Rangers, not a good trip through the province. They fell to the Flames as well Thursday night. We were kind of keeping an eye on that as well when the Oilers lost to the Wild. In 49 shots, the Flames were like, oh, boy, this is going to be a pissed-off team coming in Saturday night. They're going to be mad. And quick in net as well. And early on,
he looked good early.
Well, the shot volume, and you're like, is this one of those nights, right? And we all know the record that he has. But, the Oilers, Podkolzin, finally the dam breaks for him. Goal-wise, a lot of good things. They never talked about Puljujarvi in the media like McDavid has been talking about Podkolzin. I know.
They love
and
this
he blamed the media for writing him out. Like, it was, So he got his. Kapanen's been looking decent, playing up there, and albeit with, Hyman and Arvidsson banged up and not in the lineup.
This is the thing. When Hyman and Arvidsson come back, Kapanen slides back down. I don't know what happens with
he was
Podkolzin.
brought in for a depth role anyways, so you're kind of like, well, if he can play up, that's a little moonlighting there. A good night overall, again, for the Oilers, and heading into this week, which, I think is a good thing given what we hear about this. You brought it, somehow gave it to them. Now it's going through the room.
Yeah. I don't think they have what I have.
Well, they shouldn't anyways. Bouchard didn't take the skate, right? He was game time. Dermott missed some, or who's it the other night, the defenseman also. But anyways, good to have a few days off. And I think, too, it's...
Get some rest.
It's not a Thursday against the Wild with a regional. This is hockey night in Canada. It's your second game. Rangers are in town. You give it your all. You got the week off, so you're kind of leaving it all on the ice. But good to send the fans home and for this week, the 6 days. And now we go to Utah, which
it changes things because if they end up losing that game to the Rangers, this is a full-blown panic week.
Well, the week's going to be,
right?
So
that's exactly what it would have been. My good is just the Podkolzin story on, I don't know if you saw this, his parents in town for 3 weeks, and that was their final game in town. So they'd been coming to every game for 3 weeks. That was their final game, and he actually gets one. What a heartwarming story about hockey parents and their son.
Aggie.
To me, that's a good story.
Another good was 2 teddy bear tosses as well in the city. The Golden Bears. Friday and the Oil Kings yesterday.
Sachin, I think, had the
5-0.
5-0.
The Bears are flying. Yeah.
Wow, the Oil Kings teddy bear toss is special, man. Like that was. That looked pretty good.
And the Golden Bears, their first ever, which was nice at the break against.
I was surprised. I saw a tweet from Reed Wilkins being like, "Here come the Bears." I was like, man, I did Golden Bears hockey games for like 8 years. I never saw a teddy bear toss.
2 teddy bear tosses, 1 market. Huh.
Nobody's ever going to say, I don't think we should do that teddy bear toss. Like, as soon as somebody brings it up, they're like, that's a great idea. We got all these teddies for kids and stuff. A phenomenal idea. What's your bad from the weekend?
Well, if somebody says bad is the snow dump, if we're going to get away from the sports aspect of it all, I agree with you. I liked it. I loved it.
I'm hunkering in.
I loved it. I did a lot of shoveling. I was telling YouTube, Trev, I do the road in front of my house. I do the back alley. I do it all. Oh, my God. Like, there's no, if you want to park, like, you can park. It's great.
You do the whole road or just like
I do the road up until like the tire treads, like where people drive. And then, you want to park there. It's easy. You can wear sandals if you want. You're not stepping in anything.
Good for you, man.
That's good. So I won't go the snow route. But I think the bad maybe, let's Association City. The Raptors continue to.
Raptors suck.
And there's no shame in losing to a Cavaliers squad who are 17-1 now.
Those guys are insane.
4-13 for the Raps, 4th in the Atlantic, 122-108 your final. And I think old Grady Dick getting a little banged up as well. So.
Here's my bad. I'm going to tie it into this text from Operator Rich, who wants to dish out a conch. I'll get that done. Guys, can I get a conch from my son, who has a defensive defenseman, had a 5-point weekend in U13 Tier 2 action? How about that for the stay-at-homer? All right, so that brings me to my bad. So Marshall had a tournament this weekend.
Also a defenseman.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Coach Scott has kind of turned Marshall into a stay-at-home defenseman as well. And I mean, he still wants to play forward a little bit. He was asking me all weekend. He goes, "Daddy, do you think it's okay if I ask Coach Scott if I could try forward again?" I said, "Yeah, just go in that. Tell him after the tournament. Go tell him, ask him, hey, Coach, after the tournament, can I play forward again for a little bit?" Marshall didn't ask to play defense, but here's he's actually pretty good at it. This is what concerns me as a guy who hated defense, still does. Marshall's actually he's a giant, takes up a lot, understands how to play defense. A lot of kids at U11 still don't have a clue how to play defense. He gets it, so he's steady. So I see why I told Marshall yesterday, I said, "Look, man, if you keep playing this well on defense, your coach is never gonna move you off the blue line." He goes, "Oh, I know, Daddy." So I came up with the nickname, the Eliminator, and he kind of like that. He's like, "The Eliminator's here." So he kind of like that a little bit. But my bad is
I see him one of those '90s posters, with the cityscape in the background, and it's him and the
Eliminator, and he's just flipping a puck off the boards and out. I told him, I said, I said, every time you clear the zone, that's a good shift for you. He's like, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, that's how it is for a defenseman." Anyway, where the bad comes from is I've told him, because he's usually the largest kid on the ice. I told him, I said, if anybody's around your goalie, poking at the goalie, you clear him out. You push him out of the way, and you're forceful. So he did it a couple of times this weekend. And in our second game, he comes to me after the game and goes, "Daddy, you see that? I cleared him out." I said, "That was good." I said, "What'd you say to him?" I said, "Please stay away from our goalie." I was like, I said, "You know what? We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that aspect of it." He tells me, he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I pushed him out," and then I said, "Please stay away from our goalie." I said, "Man, you were the kindest, most gentlest, soft-hearted kid ever." But,
you got to get him. I want him going to a scrum, tapping a kid on the shoulder. The guy turns around, he gives him a card.
Yeah.
"Please stay away from our goalie." Signed, the Eliminator.
The Eliminator. Here you go.
You've been eliminated.
Oh, God. I love the kid so much. But when he told me, he goes, "The Eliminator." I said, "Please stay away from our goalie." I was like, but I think Trev said this morning, we were joking about it a bit before the show. Right, Trev? What should he say after?
He needs to finish that with "or else."
Or else. Right? The warning.
Totally changes.
Yeah. "Please stay away from my goalie, or else."
Yes.
But not just, "Hey, please stay away from my goalie."
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Bones wants a Barracuda update as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is he still in the drink?
I was healthy enough finally on Wednesday to take him to swimming.
That pool air must have been good for you. You get that.
Well, I was a
chlorine.
little worried. I was wondering. I was like, "Am I going to just sit here and cough the entire time?" And if I told Marshall, if Daddy starts coughing, I'll be in the truck waiting for you. But it was good. And the Barracuda, I mean,
Will not be caught. Hey,
I mean, the kid's a fish. It's unbelievable. I once again was saying to all the other parents, "Look at my kid. He's way up there. All your kids are back here."
Regular Mark Tewksbury.
There's nothing like going to swimming lessons and trash talking other parents because their kids they're slower than the Barracuda.
Have you gotten the robes yet?
No, not yet.
Father-son robes.
But he's doing pretty good. Dr. J texting and says, "Guys, it reminds me of Draisaitl to the Rangers. Please stop hitting me." Yeah, that's it. Big Maple's in it. Says, "Marshall, you've been eliminated. Sorry." Oh, it's too good. He's just so polite. I've tried to. I don't know where he gets the politeness from. Because when I was a kid his age, I was a terror, like a psycho. I don't know where he gets it from.
Though. I do kind of like him, demolishing kids, but then killing them with kindness.
Yeah.
Big stick. Speak softly, big stick.
"I am really sorry. Let me help you over to the bench."
Creams laying to the boards. Sorry.
Let me get you over here.
It's
You know
kind
what?
of good trash talk.
I'm going to go get your coach over here. Like,
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But he just, please stay away from our
I got
goalie.
time for that.
You got to love him. All right, what's your ugly from the weekend?
I was looking forward to this one, and I'm going to go to the college slate. Curtis Rourke, he's been having a hell of a season for IU. Hoosier football, number 5 Indiana ranked, visiting number 2 Ohio State. Huge game. I mean, that was Gus Johnson was vibrating on the call. But Rourke, they had a good opening drive, I think 70 yards, and I think that was their total yardage for the remainder of the game. He finishes 8 of 18, 68 yards, and Ohio State take care of Indiana 38-15. And I don't know, again, Indiana in that whole playoff scenario. 3 big SEC teams lost this weekend, too, which really opens things up for them, maybe. But an ugly weekend for Curtis Rourke after a Heisman-worthy season that he's been having.
I saw a great tweet that was like, well, at least Indiana now has that one quality loss that all the SEC teams talk about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
but you drop that one loss to number 2 Ohio State. It'll be like, oh, they're out of there. Like
Well,
they'll
that's
probably
like,
unranked now. Whereas like Ole Miss lose to unranked Florida at number 9. Ole Miss they'll probably drop to like 10.
well, that's why I'm talking
maybe
about. Like,
rise.
their one loss is
Yeah.
a relatively.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost to the number 2 team in the country. Like,
Alabama number 7 losing to Oklahoma unranked 24-3.
see, like
They'll probably
that
remain at
hurts
7.
way more
Yeah.
than.
Texas A&M losing to an unranked Auburn. Number 15 were the Aggies. There were actually some good games, and I want to get to it as well. Did you see the Arizona State BYU mix up there?
No. Maybe I did.
Arizona State were leading 28-23. They threw the ball out of bounds. They thought it was over. The fans rushed the field. It is full.
Oh, I heard there was 2 rushings of the field. Yeah.
But the refs reviewed. There was a second left. So the Sun Devils coach was losing his mind at the refs, almost like got to punches. They had to clear the entire student body off the field for one more play, to which BYU needed a touchdown. They Hail Married it. The guy caught it on the 1.
No.
If he would have got in, like that would have been, and so they rushed the field
Oh,
again.
my God.
But getting these kids, they were already tearing down the goalposts. Great theater. It took 11 minutes to get him off the field.
That would have
Hilarious.
been nuts. That would have been absolutely nuts. My ugly. This will come from my West final. That was the toughest one to get through from a sickness perspective. Still trying to call.
That was your
games.
flu game.
That was the one where this is going to be a little gross. So hopefully I haven't had breakfast yet. But so I'm calling the game with Suits, and I got my stats guy Moisty sitting over to my left, and I had a full box of Kleenex. I had some cough candies. I would about every 3 or 4 plays, I would have to finish calling the play. Suits would start talking. I'd lift up my headset. I'd push the cough button.
chew
I'd
a
have
cough
a
candy.
huge cough. And then I had a bucket sitting next to me that was my spit bucket.
An old
And
spittoon.
I'd spit. Then I'd put my head back, set back down, and then call the next play. And I felt so bad for the stats guy who's sitting over here. And I'm just like, oh, there's a touchdown. Like, it was just disgusting. And that's my ugly. So I finished the game. And Moisty, who's been doing Stanley Cup finals and Grey Cups for like 35, 40 years.
He got moist, eh?
Yeah. So
he was feeling it.
He looks over at me and goes, well, you finally become Bob Cole. I said, what do you mean? He goes, Bob Cole had a spit bucket for like the last 10 years of calling games. Just every single game, he'd have a spit bucket. And he was just always just spitting all the time. So
Was it the
I don't want to
same
get there all the
bucket?
time.
Did he carry it around?
No, I don't
and,
know. Yeah,
could you imagine
I don't know.
the Bob Cole bucket? Hey, like
Bob Cole
Put it in the Hall of
on
Fame.
planes had to have the spit bucket. Like, anyway, it was awful. That was a really tough game to get through. Grey Cup was a little bit better, and Benavides, who did color for me, the Grey
Benny,
Cup was
yeah.
terrific. He's very talented. So that was that was.
did he do the color all in caps lock as well?
No. He does get pretty fired up. He's a beauty. Anyway, so that was good. But yeah, my ugly was the West Final. If I can get through the West Final, I can broadcast anything.
It was ugly for me too.
God, that was disgusting. All right, on the way, we've got jam-packed second hour here. Darren Dreger is going to join us just after 7 o'clock. Then we're going to spin the wheel for a Monday Night Football anytime touchdown score. Then we're going to give you the keyword for the EST Flyway to LA. Mike Tanier is going to pop by just after 7:30, and then Ryan Rishaug right after Mike Tanier. So hour number 2 looks to be a pretty good one. You're going to want to stick around for this. Darren Dreger coming up right away, but let's get to a sports update for Dav and the crew over at Green Plan right now with LT.
NFL Sunday Nighter saw the Eagles improve to 9-2 with a 37-20 victory over the Rams, dropping LA to 5-6. Saquon Barkley, another outstanding game. He rushed for an Eagles record 255 yards, also adding a pair of touchdowns as Philly notched its 7th straight victory. You can join me tonight to wrap Week 12. We'll be at the Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge when the Chargers host the Ravens. Loaded burgers on special. Just one game in the NHL yesterday. Mitch Marner scored twice, leading the Leafs over Utah 3-2. Toronto have won 4 in a row. 11 games in the NHL tonight. The Oilers, they're off until Friday when they visit Utah. Following Saturday's win over the Rangers, the Oilers are 11-9-2. The Edmonton Oil Kings blanking the Rebels 5-0 on Teddy Bear Toss Day down at Rogers Place. Edmonton wrapping up its 3-game homestand with 3 wins. They'll be on the road in Calgary Friday to battle the Hitmen. NBA picture yesterday saw the Cavs improve to 17-1 as they dumped the Raptors 122-108. 9 games around the NBA tonight, including the Raps in Detroit, to take on the Pistons. This sports update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime. I'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. It is good to be back after missing a month.
Yeah. You still remember the number, too. I thought you'd be giving out like your own cell phone number, just kind of,
I hesitated there. I was at Save On yesterday getting some groceries, and I was like, wait a second, what was the number I gave to the lady at Save On yesterday? I better not say that right now. If I was ever going to do it. You know what? I did have, I had a meeting with somebody, and they hadn't called me. This was like the first week I was sick. They hadn't called me. And I was like, man, how come they haven't called? And then I went and checked the inbox. And there's a text there from that person. They're like, "Hey, I'm just running a little bit late." I was like, "Oh crap! I gave them the wrong number." So I mean, it's gonna happen sometimes. So that's right there for you. Surveyor Brett says, "Welcome back, Dusty. 32 days between morning shows. October 24th. Impressive sick day count. How many doctor notes did HR Daddy require?"
Well, he'll be doing the paperwork into the new year. Eh?
Oh yeah. He'll be doing this for a long time, a long time.
Merry Christmas, Daddy.
Yeah, there's lots to deal with there. Nielsen Show brought to you by Southport Chevrolet. They've got their Black Friday pricing going right now. Tons of 2025 Silverado 1500s, and you will get the best discount you can find anywhere in the area at Southport Chevrolet. And they've got a bunch of mid-size SUVs coming in that are not going to last long. Trailblazers, Equinox, Trax. They want to move them all. And you can reserve one today. For more details, check out the website, www.southportchev.com. If you're watching over on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us today. We would very much appreciate that. And, of course, you can text us at 780-218-9999. Darren Dreger, our hockey insider today, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Gear up for game day. Oilers jerseys, headwear, hoodies, hats from Fanatics, New Era, 47, Mitchell and Ness in stock now, located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave. And, of course, you can view most of their inventory online at proamsports.ca. Let's bring in Darren Dreger today. Dregs, happy Monday, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good morning, fellas.
We've got lots to get to. The Edmonton Oilers, we were talking about in the first hour of the show today. The game they played against the Rangers on Saturday was the first time all season we watched that team and thought, oh, okay, like maybe this team is a true Stanley Cup contender. I know it's a quarter of the way into the season for them to finally have that game, but an encouraging sign nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pick your spots when you're dispensing criticism. So when you have a game like that, I think you also have to appreciate that this is the same group to a point. We're going to be talking for a long time unless management does something about that defense, because it does seem like that's the deepest and darkest area of concern. From a defensive and from an offensive perspective. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's basic hockey. If you don't get the puck out of your own end, or you can't transport the puck into the hands of McDavid and Draisaitl and go down the list of all the offensive weapons they have, that's going to be a problem. And it has been. It's what's, I think, put this team in a place of wild inconsistency. Now, if they go on a run here, and that's a good Rangers team that they beat, to your point, Dusty, then maybe they can develop some confidence from the crease out that masks, puts a Band-Aid, and buys management a little bit more time to just fully assess what's available in the market. But, as we're reminded of every single year, I think it was around November 30th, wasn't it, last year when the Vancouver Canucks acquired Nikita Zadorov? There are teams that can jump into the pool and get decent pieces early. So let's see if Edmonton fits into that category. There's no panic in Edmonton, nor should there be. But there is concern when it comes to the consistency of this team. And I paused a little bit because I wanted to use the dysfunction word. And I think to a point that applies as well when you look at their overall game and the lack of consistency.
Darren, just taking a look at the opposition Saturday, too, I think, some people saying a potential Stanley Cup matchup, you offer Oilers fans that, they'll rip your arm off here, but not a good trip through the province for the Rangers. They fell to the Flames a couple nights prior, 7-3 away from MSG, those two losses, again, coming in the past couple days. So what type of Rangers team did we see, albeit pretty healthy? I mean, struggling on pretty good in the Met. But was it so much, do you see, from Saturday night, the Oilers really pouring it on, bringing their A game, or the Rangers maybe falling off a bit in those past two here in the province?
Yeah, a little bit of both, and it doesn't speak to the parity that exists across the National Hockey League. And on any given night, you're going to have teams that maybe surpass expectation, or in this case with Edmonton, kind of found a way to self-correct. And, you're right. The New York Rangers are a top team in the Eastern Conference. I thought they'd be a little bit better, but there's still a ton of hockey left. When I look around that Eastern Conference, again, you see signs of struggle. The Florida Panthers ripped off like 7 straight wins, and now they're 1-5 in their last 6. Well, we know by virtue of the Stanley Cup Championship that the Florida Panthers, again, are going to be a top-notch team in the Eastern Conference. But right there is the New York Rangers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the New Jersey Devils are proving that they've rebounded. So, Eric, I think it was a combination of things here. I think it is, let's give credit where credit is due. The Oilers were getting kicked in the shins, and we in the media were talking about what they need and what they're not doing and how this player is unhappy and that player is unhappy. And then you look at the New York Rangers, and there's lots of kind of speculation percolating around what Chris Drury, the general manager of the New York Rangers, might be interested in doing. So that normally kind of surfaces when you get to just past the 20-game marker U.S. Thanksgiving.
Prior to the win over the Rangers, the Oilers lost to the Minnesota Wild in a game where the final score was kind of misleading. Like, the Minnesota Wild were outstanding. They only have 3 regulation losses all season.
Good. Yeah.
Dregs, I'm not sure that's sustainable, but are the Minnesota Wild legitimate contenders here as we creep towards American Thanksgiving?
Well, I think we have to at least put them in that area of conversation. And you guys watch the Wild enough in the West where, Kaprizov, thank heavens, it doesn't sound, according to the reporting of Mike Rishaug and others there, that he's going to be sidelined for too long. But he's right there among the superstars and probably doesn't get enough credit for how good a player he is, just how explosive he can be. But, he's not alone. They've got a lot of good things going in Minnesota. Their defense is sound. Their goaltending is good. And I admire the approach of Billy Guerin, the general manager there. not afraid to make the real tough calls. And that goes via trade. I mean, he's one of the more active guys. If he's got to make a tough decision with a coach, he's proven historically that he's capable of doing that. And we've talked about this before, but how difficult a conversation you think it was for Billy Guerin to go to his owner, Greg Leopold, and say, oh, by the way, I think it's a good idea that we buy out Parise and Ryan Suter, and you're going to have to eat tens of millions of dollars to do it. But in the long run, it's going to be great for the Minnesota Wild. And they're now coming out of that financial funk, right? So to see what's going on with Minnesota now, that speaks to good management. It speaks to terrific coaching. It speaks to just the buy-in from the players, because they've got a little bit of everything. Yeah, they've got the superstar status there. They've got the buy-in. They've got character guys. They've got a little bit of everything. So if they're not a top contending team now, Dusty, they're not that far away, man. When they've got that cap space that they can utilize when they come out of the buyout darkness, then they're going to be a top level team, not just in the West, but I think across the league.
Darren Dreger with us on the show this morning, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. I want to get to St. Louis, Boston. I want to get to Joe Thornton as well, but just one more on the Edmonton Oilers. Kapanen's come in, played a couple of games. Looks so, like, for a waiver claim, he looks all right. But, he started in Toronto. What's the book on this guy, and what should Oilers fans expect moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to even create the book on Kasperi Kapanen. Let's accentuate the positive, right? The reason that Edmonton would have claimed him is because he's got quick feet. I mean, he's a flat-out fast player, and that's what Edmonton needed. So any injection of speed is going to be welcome to that forward core. I guess the big question is, though, why hasn't he stuck anywhere? Toronto gave him a look, then he moves on, and then he ends up getting claimed off waivers. So there's got to be a lot more going on there than what we see at the surface. I'll use the C word again, and that's consistency. And it feels like he's just never been able to develop his game to be trusted enough on a consistent basis, on a shift-by-shift basis. So he's running out of runway here. His opportunities are going to become fewer and fewer. I mean, when you get claimed off waivers, that's a pretty clear indication that, okay, you're a project piece now. Yeah. So you better figure it out, and you better take advantage of your opportunity, or the next stop is going to be out of the National Hockey League. And that's probably where he's headed if he doesn't seize this chance. So, he'll get a real good look, but again, the negative side of it is just inconsistency, and it feels like that's a word that we're using a lot around this Oilers team.
Darren Dreger with us on the show this morning. Dregs, the Bruins have fired 3 consecutive Jack Adams winners who've all been scooped up within 8 days of being fired. The most recent one is Jim Montgomery. Interesting decision for St. Louis to make with Bannister so fresh into his tenure as head coach. But when you see somebody that you think is one of the best coaches in the National Hockey League, I give a team credit for pulling the trigger on something like this.
You know what? It's as cutthroat as it gets. It really, truly is. But Doug Armstrong is looking at his St. Louis Blues team, and he's like, all right, we're 22 games into this regular season. We're 5 points out of a wild card spot. It's likely not going to get any prettier. So what can we do to try and just push things along here a little bit? And if they don't go according to plan, which of course for every team is to be in that playoff conversation, then you've got a very experienced, successful coach that you can lean on through the tough times and the better times down the road. It's a crappy business if you're Drew Bannister. What is he, 22 games in? He's not an interim coach here. He was a full-time NHL head coach, a coach that came in with some promise, a very good American Hockey League coach. But the tough side of it is, no one expected that Jim Montgomery was going to be available at the start of the season, right? Nobody thought that the Boston Bruins were going to go through what they continue to go through. Yeah, there's a coach bump with Joe Saku now, the interim coach of Boston. It seems like they're responding in a good fashion. But I think that this was also recognition by Doug Armstrong and St. Louis guys of some of the other teams that were struggling. Hey, what do we think is going to happen with the Detroit Red Wings here if they don't come out of their mess? They're on a homestand. It doesn't look like it's getting better. I got to believe that some of the general managers who are in need of something positive were sniffing around Jim Montgomery. And why did Jim Montgomery not embrace the contract extensions that his former general manager, Don Sweeney, acknowledged at the going away press conference? I mean, I don't recall the last time I heard a general manager sit there after firing his coach and saying, well, multiple times we tried to engage in extension conversation and he just wouldn't have it. Okay, I mean, did Monty know that his stock was that high that he would get picked off the scrap heap that quickly? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, there are some who think that was the case. So if you're St. Louis, do you let it twist and do you let Steve Yzerman step in and grab him, or do you make the tough call that ultimately he made, knowing a guy that you trust, the experience, the history you have with Jim Montgomery, and that's what they did. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate why they did it, but I can also look at it through the lens of Drew Bannister, and it's a tough business.
Darren, I just also wanted your thoughts. We mentioned the Bruins here. They're even on points with the Buffalo Sabres, one of the hottest teams around the league right now. Winners of 3 straight, 7-3 in their past 10. Is it more of a blip, or are things finally turning around in Buffalo?
We're waiting forever for the Sabres to get going.
I want to believe, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I still think it's a blip.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't think that this team is capable. Kevin Adams has repeatedly shared with me that he likes his team, that this team is better than its record indicates. Again, we've just talked about some of the tough decisions that the GM has to make, and Adams has done that time and time again. So maybe there's some payback that's coming with this 3 straight wins, but it doesn't quite feel like they're over the hump. I hope they are, because I'd like Buffalo to be a better story. They've endured enough pain and suffering in that city, around that organization. But I feel like we don't need a 10-game winning streak, but I feel like we need a segment of 10, 15 games where they're playing at least well above 500, where you go, okay, I'm starting to see it, and we're not there yet.
Dregs, quickly, before we let you go, Joe Thornton was honored in San Jose over the weekend. He just had a fabulous speech. I had a chance to have a really good chat with him at the Spengler Cup last year. Seems so genuine.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great moment. I mean, what can you say about this guy?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Did you guys catch the sit-down interview that he did with Jason Demers? It was just tremendous. And for all those that are watching or listening, go and find it. It'll be easy to find. But you really get a dose of Joe Thornton, a human being. We recognize him clearly from just the hulking presence and the career that he had. But it was so much more than that. The man, you can't play the game at the highest level and not love the game. But Joe loved everything about it. He played games wrapped in braces and bandages and everything just because he just loved being around the boys, as he liked to call them. So every moment he lived in it as an NHL player. And yeah, the speech was terrific. That's vintage Jumbo, I think, is the best way to describe it. And I'm mostly intrigued now as to what's next for Thornton. And there's a place for him as he occupies with the San Jose Sharks. But does he have any sort of ambition to, do what he's doing internationally in management and translate that into what he might do in the future in the National Hockey League? And we're not going to know that until maybe his kids are a little bit older. They're not babies anymore, as we clearly could see from the party that they had in San Jose. But does he have the fire burning in his belly as he did as a player to transport that into coaching or management? That's what I'm intrigued by.
Dregs, great chat, man. When's the next episode of Ray and Dregs drop?
Yeah, today, as a matter of fact. And Ray is fired up. There's been a lot of hockey news, as we've already discussed here, and more to come. So going to be a juicy headlines with plenty of opinion on Ray and Dregs later today.
Excellent, man. We'll chat next week.
Okay, guys, have a good one.
There you go. That's Darren Dreger, brought to you by the Cooks and Boys and the crew over at Pro-Am Sports. Lots to get to there. Joe Thornton it makes me sad that dude didn't get a Stanley Cup.
And the hockey aside, the story that they shared about him and his wife moving that homeless mother into the apartment. Come on.
I know. He's unbelievable.
And he had the hat going, and he was pretty live on the mic. It was a good watch,
I had a sit down with him at the Spengler last year. And I was like, man, Joe Thornton, this is pretty cool. But he is just like an easy guy to chat with, like on camera, off camera. He was like, he just comes across as like just a super nice dude, like really nice guy. So it'll be interesting. I think Dreger made a good point. Like, where does he settle in? I don't know if Thornton settles in as like he does the Spengler Cup stuff because he's got ties to Davos and he like probably likes being there at Christmas and stuff.
Different flavor. Yeah.
I could see him trying to settle in more on that international front than the everyday NHL general manager type of thing.
Hockey Canada's been going through it. He would be a good kind of face and attitude and a breath of fresh air. Maybe you could argue to kind of take that.
Remember his rookie season? It was awful. Like he barely like. What did he have? Like, they had him and Samsonov. I think they came in as rookies together. And did Samsonov win Rookie of the Year? He might have won the Calder, but Thornton was like 18. Didn't play much. They weren't playing him much.
The bare head.
Yeah. It was a big jersey back then.
Terrible time.
Trevor, did you just look this up? Was Samsonov not like one of the best rookies in the league?
I just looked up his DB, but 7 points in his first season, 55 games played.
Crazy, right? For the first overall pick.
That's very surprising.
That guy, if social media was around back then, he would have been ran out of town even quicker than he was.
How that career may have changed.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But yeah, I'm pretty sure Samsonov might have been a rookie at the same time. It was just... Anyway. Nice guy. Very nice guy. All right, let's get the wheel. Let's get into this for Cool Bet. Then we'll get to your keyword for the EST Flyway.
Spun it a couple of times where you're gone, I think.
Did you? Good. I like that.
It's not the same without.
So these are the odds. Let's see here. What do we got?
This is a pretty good wheel, yeah.
For the
Ravens
Harbaugh
Chargers Harbaugh Bowl.
All right, where do we got? J.K. Dobbins minus 125. Oh, Derrick Henry minus 227 for sure. Zay Flowers plus 138. Ladd McConkey plus 150. Quentin Johnson plus 188. Mark Andrews plus 188. Lamar Jackson to run one in plus 220. Will Dissly plus 240. Rashad Bateman plus 240. The Canadian, Josh Palmer plus 275. Isaiah Likely plus 330. Justin Herbert plus 350. Gus Edwards 4-1. Every one of these guys.
It's a good one.
I don't know about the Herbert one, but Justice Hill could have a receiving.
It's a full wheel, baby.
Is the wheel still messing with us? Is it still going back a couple spots? Do we know?
Only one way to find out.
All right, let's find out. Trev, you want to say it with us here?
Yeah.
Let's for Cool Bet. Let's get an anytime touchdown score. Spin that wheel.
That construction paper's still holding on. I'll tell you that much.
Better than I
Week
am.
12, eh?
Oh, it stopped. Who do we got?
The Canuck.
Wow, Josh Palmer. All righty then. All right. Josh Palmer.
Of everyone on the wheel.
Plus 275. That's the odds right now on Palmer with our partners over at coolbet.com. If you've not yet signed up for an account, use the code LOCKSHOP when you do, and you get a 100% deposit bonus on initial deposit up to $200. Josh Palmer, I did not see that coming today.
Have you still been doing fanny picks at home just by yourself?
By myself, yeah.
Sitting in the mirror and
in the basement.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the saddest thing. I'll just sit there in front of the mirror.
Oh.
Wow. Look at this. The fanny picks. Yeah, no, I was off the radar there. We have a poker tournament tomorrow night with Cool Bet. I've been out since the last one. That was my second day being sick. So I'm looking forward to it. Tuesday night, that's tomorrow night. If you would like to play poker with us, be ready to go. We will have that. We will have that.
Yeah. How did you fare in the one that you were? Because that was early days.
Can't even remember.
It's a fever dream.
Well, it was. I was playing with a fever. Yeah.
Changing 200.
Changing 200. Let's not stop there. We're only halfway through the show. Hammer the thumbs up for us over on YouTube today. Second half of this hour is going to be jam-packed because we got Mike Taneer coming up and we got Ryan Rishaug coming up. So maybe what we'll do is we'll try to get ahead of it. Yeah. I cannot wait to hear what Rishaug thinks about Austin Siebert blowing the extra point in the Commanders game. Let's give you the key word for the EST Flyway to LA. There it is.
Yeah.
Man,
Will's been having fun with this.
This is it. Are we giving this trip away on Friday?
Yeah.
Wow.
Thursday final day. We thought Will might be giving it away. Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't that be something? Phrase gives away a trip to Los Angeles. That's incredible. We'll do this and we'll kind of get ahead of it a bit and save ourselves a little bit of time for the two guests we got coming up back to back. All right, so here's your keyword today for the EST Flyway to Los Angeles. What is this trip again? We got NFL football. Mm-hmm. We got NBA at the Intuit Dome.
Intuit.
And we've got Edmonton versus one of two teams to be determined by the Rams game. So we'll get into that. It's all brought to you by the 780 homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. It's the shop name and it's their in-house clothing brand celebrating all things unique to E-Town. And they work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to promote and get their brands off the ground as well. Check them out online, 780.com, or at any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, the Outlet Mall, out by the airport, and check out their Birded Beef underwear. And, of course, they're very popular, loyal to the oil brand.
Phrase popped into one of the shops.
Of course he did.
Yeah. Had to check it out. Yeah. Couldn't resist.
A man about town. Man, I love how Phrase goes from nowhere to being on the show every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible. Today's keyword is knoblock, or as Gager says, knoblaw.
Knoblaw.
Knoblock. KNOBLAUCH.
Still think of Chuck.
You do, don't you?
You know?
Text knoblock right now. 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube, just hop on your phone, fire the text over. Knoblock is the key word today. KNOBLAUCH. You will also have chances to qualify today on the Hangout, on EST Afternoons, and on the Reed Wilkins Show later on this afternoon. But your keyword right now for the EST Flyweight LA, knoblock. Best of luck to everybody. We'll give you about 5 minutes. Trev will get somebody on the line.
Pick up the phone. He's had a few people that...
What?
Oh, no. I know. That's another thing you missed. A few people have not been picking up the phone.
I'm laying at home in my basement sick as a dog.
Yeah.
And people are texting in, trying to qualify for a trip, and you're not even picking up.
He's going to start leaving messages, calling him, loser.
And I'm as sick as a dog. Yeah. And nobody's picking up. That's what you're right. That's what I did in the basement. Tammy came downstairs. She goes, "Are you still sick as a dog?" And I just, I am. Help me.
Little hound dog.
All right. We'll give you a couple minutes to get in the mix. Trev will call somebody. We'll get to our qualifier. Then we'll get to Tanier. Then we'll get to Ryan Rishaug, who's going to be joining us around 7:45 today. So jam-packed second hour. Let's get right to an update right now for the great staff at Park Mazda with Lieutenant Eric. Let's get to that, and that'll really get us going for the second half of the show.
Join me tonight to wrap up Week 12 in the NFL at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. It's the Harbaugh Bowl when the Chargers host the Ravens. Loaded burgers will be on special throughout the evening. The Sunday Nighter saw Saquon Barkley rush for an Eagles record 255 yards plus a pair of touchdowns. Philly win their 7th straight with a 37-20 victory over the Rams, dropping away to 5-6. Just one game in the NHL yesterday. Leafs edging Utah 3-2. Toronto have won 4 straight. 11 games around the NHL tonight. The Oilers, they're off till Friday when they visit Utah. Following Saturday's win over the Rangers, the Oilers enter the week 11-9-2. The Oil Kings, they win their 3rd straight at home, blanking the Rebels 5-0 on Teddy Bear Toss Day. Edmonton are off until Friday when they travel to Calgary to take on the Hitmen. 9 games around the NBA tonight, including the Raptors in Detroit to take on the Pistons. Raps will look to get in the win column as they suffer a 122-108 loss last night in Cleveland. The Cavaliers improving to 17-1. Elsewhere, the Heat beat the Mavs in overtime 123-118. James Harden at 23, leading the Clippers over Philly 125-99. 76ers now 3-13. And Jaylen Brown finished with 29. Celtics outlast the Timberwolves 107-105. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where he just texted in knoblock.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button. Thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Lynyrd Skynyrd with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Drop the puck. Let's go, Oilers, let's go. Let's go, Oilers, go. I hear the Oilers coming, boarding on the plane. Off to the United States to play Canada's favorite game. a chance to win the glory, a chance to win the cup. Let's go, Oilers, let's go, let's go, Oilers, go. Bring it back to our World Saint City, the city of champions. Since I was just a baby, grew up an Oilers fan. Remember Gretzky in the 80s, seeing 4 rings on just one hand, chasing through the 90s and into the millennium. Let's go, Oilers, let's go, let's go, let's go. Watch us shooting past kids in Florida, I said, put those Panthers down. Let's go, let's go, let's go. First Kings, Canucks, and the Dallas Stars, all who tried but failed. We got Skinner, rock solid between the pipes, and McDavid, our holy grail. Ekholm on the back end, and don't forget the Bouchard ball. Sweeping rats off the ice in Edmonton, and bring us Los Angeles. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I hear the Oilers coming, boarding on a plane, off to the U.S. of A to play Canada's favorite game. A chance to win the glory, a chance to win the cup. Let's go, bring it back to our Austin City, the city of champions.
7:32 on the Nielson Show. The Edmonton Oilers would not bring the Stanley Cup home, but it's still a great song.
Spoiler, yeah.
It's still a great song. I mean, that's a banging tune. Jimbo over in the Nasty Chat says, there's that sweet playoff PTSD. Thanks, Dusty.
A couple of LTE edits, we can kind of reformat that puppy, right? Like
Yeah, easy.
slap some tape on there and away you go. Yeah.
Try hard and force game 7.
Yeah.
That's always nice too. That's important. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. It's good to be back. I missed all the crew here, but I miss the Nasties too. You know,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They are your co-workers, really, when you think about it. Like that's, to be honest, we don't, like we see Reed, we see Jason, we see all these guys are all here, but we don't work with them during the show. These are your coworkers.
Yeah. You're all part of the EST family.
Lunch breaks, smoke breaks, the whole bit.
Oh, so many things, so many breaks. Mike Taneer coming up, Ryan Rishaug coming up. Who is our qualifier today for the EST Flyway to LA?
We've got Kent on the line.
All right, we've got Kent. Let's go to Kent.
You're talking to him. This is a coworker.
Good morning, Kent. How are you?
I'm doing good, Dusty. Welcome back to the show.
Kent, you're making me cry here. I'm getting emotional. Thanks for the welcome back, my man. Who would you bring with you on this post-Christmas trip to LA?
Oh, it'd have to probably be my wife. But we do have a holiday schedule, so I might be able to pull a buddy trip off of some sort.
Oh, because you guys have so many things going on over the holidays.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Hey, either way, if you win this thing, it's going to be a great trip, my man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, best of luck. There you go. That's Kent. He's in the mix today.
Thought he would have said you.
For the EST. Bring me.
Oh, yeah, why not? You know, first day back.
You know what? I'd go. I'd go. I take the opportunity.
You don't do anything during the Christmas break.
Yeah. Maddie comes in and goes, I don't know about the regulations.
Define print, yeah.
Well,
get the magnifying glass out.
Let's change the game. Let's change the game. That'd be a lot of fun. Sorry, Kent's wife. But I'm going with Kent.
Step aside.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Your next chance to qualify coming up on the Hangout today. The EST Flyway is brought to you by 780. If you haven't checked them out yet, check out their website, 780.com. It's Christmas shopping time. It's Christmas shopping time. They got a bunch of great brands at all of their stores and online. It is a great gift store because you're like, oh, what do I get this person?
You'd never know.
No, it would be.
You'd never have the idea. You go in there, boom. Yeah, of course.
Takes 2 seconds. Yeah. 2 seconds. Oh, this is a cool, loyal to the oil brand hat. Yeah. I'll just take this one. Yeah. Very easy if you want to get your Christmas shopping taken care of. All right. Do we have Mike Taneer? Is he sitting there waiting?
He's not.
He's not.
Oh,
well, I did tell him. I asked him about a possible switching of the time, but then I messaged him back and said regular time is good. So
I need it. I just need this. I need the sitting, the waiting.
On a fireman text. He might
Please,
have,
Mike, please.
He might have missed the follow-up where I said, never mind, regular time works. Uh-oh.
Because he asked me to start the show this morning, and I guess I should have replied back to him.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but he said 9:45, the question mark, Eastern, and I said yes to that.
Ooh. Let's have them both on together.
That was at 7.
But he's always 9:35.
Is he?
Yeah. He's always right after 9:30, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is this
My
is
bad.
Bring them both on together.
We've got ourselves a little bit of a pickle. We've got ourselves a little bit of a pickle. Let me see. Maybe we can get Rishaug to hop on right now.
Have them wrestle for it.
And then let's see here.
Shog should be the one that makes it work now because he wanted to.
He was the one.
If he needs to get on earlier, this is.
Yeah, he was the one.
I'll take this one.
Yeah, Trev will take the L on this one.
Yeah,
he'll take the hit. We're gonna jam both of these guys in the next 20 minutes.
This is where we get creative,
right? So I texted Rishaug, said maybe he can hop on right now. It's a race. I mean, whoever hops on first gets the segment.
This is like that Blue Bombers backup quarterback situation from a few months past. What did he say? 2.
2. He'll be on in 2 minutes.
Rishaug.
All right. So then I'll tell Mike. Mike usually has another radio hit or something.
He's a busy man too.
That's too. Oh man. All right. I think somebody connected. We got Mike now.
Hey,
okay, we got Mike.
We got a winner.
Okay, text Rishaug back.
Beat him by a minute.
Tell him Tanier is the winner. Mike Tanier is going to join us. Ryan Rishaug.
What do you want me to text Ryan now? Wait.
Tell him 7:45. Tell him 7:45. As the saying goes in the business, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
Ryan Rishaug.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk some NFL with Mike Tanier. We've
Love
been
it.
all over the place here. Regular time is 7:35, so we got him right now. Let's bring in Mike. Mike, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning. You told me in an email this morning, 7:45. You told me.
I know.
I have the receipt.
Yeah, that's.
Don't make me put it up on the screen. I have the receipt. I'm here though.
Our producer's already taken the L for this on his own. He goes. Well, I emailed him back, said 7:45. I was just like, oh, it's usually 7:35. No, it's all good. We got you in enough time to talk about the Commanders' kicking issues. Man, that was you get an 86-yard touchdown to Terry McLaurin. Everybody's thinking, oh, this is gonna be amazing. Commanders gonna pull one out in overtime, maybe or something. But that's an all-time fail right there. That was bad.
It's an all-time fail. It was a bad snap. The holder did a great job getting it down, but it looked like if you mess that operation up by a fraction of a second, you can mess the kicker up. Kicker was already having a bad game. Kicker is already like a replacement for the guy that they thought was going to be their kicker in the preseason. They brought Seibert in along the way. And I'm watching that game and the flow of that game, and I'm thinking, man, if I'm the Commanders, I go for 2 here. Don't extend this to overtime. Don't risk it. There's been 15 missed field goals in this game. Don't risk it like that. You've got Jaden Daniels. You got Brian Robinson. You can run all kind of read option goofiness at the goal line. Put the dagger in and try to get the win. They went in the other direction. They tried to extend the game. And, as a result, we get that chaos.
Nice to see Tommy DeVito back on the field. Hey, Mike, especially with another primetime performance from Saquon Barkley. Just those two things compounded together. Too sweet if you hate the Giants.
A primetime performance by Saquon Barkley, and the Giants get Kayvon Thibodeau back, and they get Malik Neighbors back, who's been out for a while. And it's like, you know what? You should be able to beat the Buccaneers. You should get a little bounce from this. DeVito won some games last year. And it turns out, Tommy Cutlass, he was like the 7th worst thing that happened to the Giants. Like he was, if you make the list of things that went wrong, he was like 8th on the list, 7th on the list. He was not the problem. The problem is the Giants are terrible. The problem is the Giants were demoralized because look at the veterans on that team. As you know, what we think of Danny Jones, you think of Daniel Jones. We know he's not great. He's been their leader for 6 years. He goes out there every practice and he puts the work in, and they cut him to save money. What does that tell Kayvon Thibodeau? What does that tell Brian Okereke? What does that tell all the other veterans on that roster? So this team's just going to economize, and they played like a team that doesn't care and has decided it's all about the business decisions.
With Minshew getting hurt in Vegas, I mean, is Daniel Jones, and I almost didn't even want to ask the question, but could that? I mean, there's no way, right?
I mean, they shouldn't because it's a dead end. They've got Desmond Ridder. They got the guy you can throw out there. He's throwing a guy out there.
Yeah.
Desmond Ridder's Younger, cheaper, similar. Daniel Jones people talk about, putting him on the Bills. That's fine. Stick him behind the really established starting quarterback so he can be in the quarterback room, nod, say yes, sir, no, sir. And if there's a crisis, he can throw deep, he can run, he can do some fake, some fake Josh Allen type things, some fake Mahomes type things, however you want to put it. Don't put him in a position where he's going to go out there and play out the string for a team that's already demoralized. And it's kind of like out of the frying pan in the Meadowlands into the fire in Las Vegas.
Mike Taneer with us on the show this morning as we break down yesterday's action in the National Football League. Mike, I don't want to believe in the Eagles because of their head coach, but Saquon Barkley is making it very hard to not buy into what they're selling right now.
Saquon is an eraser of mistakes and a forgiver of sins right now. And Sirianni does his goofy fourth down stuff and always looks like he's miserable anymore. But they're taking the ball out of his hands to a degree. With Saquon plays like this, Jalen Hurts played very well. A.J. Brown played very well. A lot of guys on the defense, as well as their pass rush, played very well. It's increasingly one of those situations where you don't necessarily have to believe in the head coach. How many head coaches in the NFL do we actually believe in? Like 3 of them, 5 of them? You don't have to believe in this guy anymore because the team is good enough to win these games despite him or with him just sort of nodding and grunting on the sidelines.
Bo Nix making history, but are the Dolphins a wild card team in your opinion, Mike? Can they get there?
You mean the Broncos?
Broncos.
Okay,
yeah.
It scared me.
I would say the Dolphins need
Dolphins
the Broncos
as well. Yeah,
both of them. It's a double question.
The Dolphins need the Broncos or the Chargers to fall off. I don't think either of those teams is going to fall off. And the Dolphins have a tough Thanksgiving night test ahead of them. The Broncos, I'm just catching up on the Bo Nix film now. It's amazing how he's developed. Because he went from a guy, he's winning games and getting better stats, but it's still the defense, and he's just dropping back and making a few plays. He's making off-platform throws. He's making throws on the run. He's doing some wild stuff right now, and it's amazing to see his development. I don't see the Broncos falling off the pace enough for another team to slip in as a wild card.
What is a 10-1 team need to have a walk-off field goal to beat the Carolina Panthers? Like, that makes no sense to me. I don't get it.
This is Chiefs football. This is what it is. And I watched that game, and the Chiefs had a 2-score lead, and it was very frustrating. It's like, why don't you just run the ball now and not put it all on Mahomes? And they're trying to make a 3-score lead, 4-score lead. They're trying to step on the accelerator, and they keep making mistakes, penalties, or some drop passes. Mahomes doesn't have great protection. He doesn't have great weapons. He's trying to do a little too much, and they let the Panthers back in the game. The thing about the Chiefs is, though, that game gets tied. It's 1 minute and 23 seconds left. We actually were looking at our gambling apps. 1:23 seconds left. Game is tied, and the Chiefs were like minus 550 or something at the win. The house was like, Mahomes is going to lead a game-winning drive. We all know it. We're not giving you any action on this. That's exactly what he did.
Mike, before we let you go, what happens tonight? What do you expect from the Harbaugh Bowl?
I really think that the Ravens are the superior team right now. The Chargers had the easiest schedule up until now, so they're impressive. They were impressive against the Bengals last week. I'm expecting a rather easy Ravens win.
If people are looking for your stuff, where can they find it, Mike?
You can find it on Substack. It's called the T-O-O Deep Zone, too deep, like your college girlfriend, not like the defense that Vic Fangio runs. And you can find it at Mike Taneer at Substack.com.
All right, there you go, Mike. As always, man, it's a pleasure. That's Mike Taneer joining us. Thanks a lot for the time.
You got to take care and enjoy your week and your holiday, Americans, US fans.
You enjoyed Thanksgiving there, Mike. Man. Yep. There you go. That's Mike Taneer, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialist. Just arrived the retro-inspired flyby tee from 47. 11 teams available, including the Bills, Lions, and Chiefs.
Those are heavy hitters.
Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave. Online at proamsports.ca. Always good to catch up with Mike, and he's on the Ravens. He's on the Ravens tonight. So we'll see how that goes. Good to chat with Mike again, though.
Isn't that something that gets you all jolly for the week?
He's still sitting in the same spot. Still got the great beard.
Got your back in the nasty chat there, I see.
Oh, is he in the chat, Trev?
Doing a little poaching.
Is he over there?
He's trying to capitalize on...
better hammer the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Better hammer the thumbs up.
Might have to sign YTT to an extension here soon.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's bring in Ryan Rishaug from Got Your Back. We're gonna talk a little football with him too on the Elks and Hervey. But Shoggy, how you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Nice to see you. How you doing?
I'd say I'm at like 95%.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think that's accurate, Rick? Would you say 95?
At 90.
90? Okay. All right. I'm at 90%. I'm at 90%.
Well, good on you for coming back, even though you're only at 90%, because a lot of guys wait till they're 100%.
Well, it's been 32 days, Shoggy. I kind of got to get back at some point. But it's good to be back. Eric listed off like I missed the entire World Series.
We were wearing shorts, Shoggy.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Let's start with the Oilers though, Shoggy. Best game of the year, undoubtedly, against the New York Rangers. Can we say that?
Best game of the year, undoubtedly. I'll have to look back over their schedule.
Gotta be close.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Like it was good. Keep in mind though, the Rangers were right on the tail end of a road trip. They were a little messy. They didn't really put up a lot in the way of a fight. So I think the Oilers.
You're taking the shine off the win. That's what you're doing.
I'm not taking the shine off the win. It was a good win for the Oilers, and I love the fact that it wasn't McDavid or Draisaitl that had to set the tone in the game. Some other guys got on the board. I like the fact that they did what they needed to do to win a game. It was a commanding win on home ice, which I think this team has really needed. So no, I don't want to take the shine off the win, but I mean, yeah, there's times where, the Oilers are on the tail end of a road trip and we can see it. They just don't have it, right? And I think so you got to take advantage of those pieces of your schedule where other teams come rolling in and don't quite have it, and they absolutely did. So good on them. And there were some really good performances in that game, and that's lots for them to build off of. And the difference between hitting the brake on a game like that and hitting the brake, if it were a bad loss, I'm telling you, man, I think we're talking about something this week. I don't know what, but if they hit the brake and there was a brutal loss against the Rangers and it was more of we're talking about something, a trade, a
defense
move,
trade,
something.
That's what you're thinking.
Stan Bowman would be sitting there going, like, this is the time to do the thing. If you're going to do a thing, like, this would be the time. And I'm not suggesting coaching or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying. I think it really helped the situation that they got that win.
Aside from the usual suspects, though, Ryan, McDavid, Draisaitl 2-on-1, you know what's happening there. But Podkolzin, Kapanen picked up waivers. It was mostly for a depth position, but he was elevated and looked pretty good. So Who do you think maybe needed that win, albeit against the Rangers team? And I brought that up with Darren, too. This isn't the real New York Rangers, but who do you think needed that game more? Even Nurse coming back in the lineup, picking up where he left off. I thought Bush had a good defensive performance as well.
Yeah, credit to Evan Bouchard because Dusty, unlike you, Bouchard came back at 50%. We were told that he was 50-50. And my understanding is it wasn't great. Like, they've got some sickness ripping through there. I'm just playing with you, buddy. I know you're in bad shape.
I'm better now, but it was a tough 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, man. I heard. And glad you're feeling better. But Bouchard played through it, right? And here's the other thing too, guys. Like, Darnell Nurse, had he chosen to take one more game off, he buys himself another 6 days rest. But he didn't. He wanted to play. He knew his team needed him, and he wanted to play. He wasn't putting himself at risk. A lot of guys would have just taken that game and given themselves the extra, but he wanted in, and then he played really, really well. I know there was a bad mistake at the end. Whatever. He played well in that game overall. So I think that was good as well. But I love Podkolzin's performance in that game. I love the goal. I think it's a great story. I think, I was early at practice a couple of days last week, and both days when I walked into the building thinking, well, what am I going to do for the next half hour? I was like, oh, well, apparently I'm going to watch Podkolzin work on his shot. Like, the guy just put in the work 28 minutes earlier than everybody else out there. So, and then to see him score that goal was good for him. And I think a lot of people have kind of been, talking, well, why is he still on that line? Why is he still up there? He's got no goals. Imagine a head coach sticking with a guy on Draisaitl's line that had no goals.
And that whole goal too, that goal sums up how he's been playing too, like a great summarizer of how he's been playing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think, did you guys hear Draisaitl post-game talk about Podkolzin? So I'll go back to last week, guys, and Connor McDavid was asked post-game about Vasily Podkolzin. And I've asked Connor McDavid about 100 different line mates over the last 10 years.
Had a few of them.
And he talked about Podkolzin in a way that was yeah, man, you could just hear it in his voice. This player has won over these guys. They want him there. He would not be on these lines if those guys didn't want him there. And then Leon Draisaitl post-game, it was the same thing. If you listen to the way Draisaitl sounded in that post-game interview, it was this guy has won them over. And that matters. That absolutely matters.
Is it the same way they talked about Yamamoto? Because wasn't he a guy that they all love to play with too?
No, it's different. I mean, I've got it here. Have you guys heard it yet? Have you played it yet?
No, we haven't played it this morning. No.
Here, I think this is it.
I thought we responded well.
That's not it.
He was great.
That's not it.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah, I looked back on some stuff.
He's got them all.
Wait a minute. Where did
you might have
Oh,
it.
you know what? Sorry, I realized Chris ran the sound because it was a home game last game. Anyway, guys, it was pretty unreal though. He's yeah, you guys, he is a really good player. And people that might not know the game don't know, he is really good. He turns over pucks, and when he gets it back, he makes the right play. 95% of the time, he makes the right play. So he's won over these guys because you would not have a guy with 0 goals sitting next to Leon Draisaitl on one of those top lines.
A quarter of the way into the season, yeah.
If he wasn't on board with the way it was going.
Ryan Rishaug with us on the show this morning from TSN and the Got Your Back podcast. Darnell Nurse's game certainly trending in the right direction. What have you seen him do over the last, when healthy, over the last 7-8 games that has helped his game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think having a partner in Kulak more often has definitely helped. Darnell Nurse is for the first chunk of the season there, it was just a revolving door next to him, and I think that's hard for any defenseman. One night it's Thatcher, the next night it's Emberson, the next night it's Dermott, the next night it's, then he's over on
they're all
right,
guys that you haven't really played with before, right?
Well, I know.
It's different if there's guys you played with, but.
Yeah, so I would suggest that he was not set up to succeed in the early going, and people could say, well, he's got to be able to make it work, and he's got to blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. Defensemen will always have more success when they're playing with a partner that they're comfortable with, and that's always going to bring out more in their game. If you took Matthias Ekholm away from Evan Bouchard, what does his game look like? So Nurse has been playing more with Kulak, and I think that's been good. Kulak's been playing excellent, but I think Darnell has been simplifying. I think a few good things happened and some confidence gets injected into the game. A little bit of scrapping, right? He's back to, when the situation is right, he's fighting for his teammates. And I think that, I think he was ready to break through. He doesn't want it to be the way it's been. And so I think, the combination of a more consistent partner, simplifying, some good things happening, we're all human beings, man. Confidence makes a huge difference. And I see a player that's playing with a lot more confidence.
Early returns on Kapanen. I know it's a small sample size, but what do you think?
Yeah, let's see where it goes. I mean, I like the fact that he's willing to finish a check. And I like the fact that he's increased their overall level of speed. But when Arvidsson and Hyman are ready to go, where does he fit? This is a team that's carrying 12 forwards. And they've been carrying 12 forwards all year. And the reason is the longer they carry 12 forwards, the more money they have to spend on a defenseman at the deadline. So unless they're going to fundamentally change their strategy and carry an extra player all of a sudden, I don't know where he fits. I don't know that, the fourth line center position is not one that guy's going to fill. So you're looking at Corey Perry or Derek Ryan. I don't think Perry's going anywhere, and he doesn't fit replacing Ryan. You got no fourth line center now. So a couple of decent games. I'm just not sure where the fit is longer term.
Shaggy, we got to flip over to some big news for the local football club over late last week, I guess. We haven't talked to you.
The president appointment as well since you weren't here.
I mean, I've been gone. Forrest wasn't even with the organization when I was here last. But you covered Herv last time he was here. Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good availability to start his return to the Double E, pointed out that the organization has become a laughing stock around the rest of the Canadian Football League. What was your initial impression of Ed Hervey 2.0?
I thought it was funny because he said, I'm going to use the phrase laughing stock. And we were all like, whoa.
I know.
And then a few minutes later in the press conference, he suddenly showed restraint. He was like, now this is where I normally get myself in trouble. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, you already did that, Ed. Like you already swung for the fences, man. But I think that's what the knowledgeable fan will love about Ed Hervey. Like the guy just does not pull punches. He's just a no BS kind of guy. And I understand that there were financial issues and they needed people that could do more than 5 jobs at a time but they should have hired Ed last time around. Like they should have hired Ed last time around and the whole Chris Jones thing just been completely skipped. So I think Ed does a good job. I think he's the right guy. I think he gets the organization. He gets the relationship between the fans and the team. I think he's learned some lessons. I think there was a little bit of natural, you got to be cocky at times, right? If you're going to be Ed Hervey. Yeah. I think that got in his way a little bit last time around. I don't think it will this time around. So I see the older, more mature Ed Hervey and some real genuine stuff about losing his mom, right? Lost his mom.
He lost his mom. Yeah. I mean, he brought that up a few times. That's obviously the way he views things.
And I will tell you, man, for Ed Hervey to be bringing that up, he's not bringing that up to score points. He's not bringing that up for PR. That is very, very real in that man's world. And you don't see emotion from that guy very often. So you want to talk about what his motivations are and what his headspace is. I take that absolutely at face value. So I like this hire. I think that the organization is pointed in a much better direction than it was under previous leadership. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how much they're going to be able to fix, but it definitely if I were a ticket buying fan of this team, I'd feel 100 times better right now than I did at this time last year. Now he's got some big decisions to make and some things to figure out, but it feels like it's all making a little bit more sense.
Well, that's what we said.
And I think Fraze, who is filling in, made an astute point as well with Hervey now having Chris Morris, ahead of him. We talk about structure and leadership and everything like that, and kind of a boss, just above him in that leadership structure. Time has passed, but it's good to have a guy like Chris Morris in that position for Hervey to kind of work under.
I thought it was kind of funny too, like Chris Morris. He was like, the days of the revolving door are done, right? Which I think we all agree with. And Ed was like, you don't want to be here, get out. Like, I think Ed's just going to start firing people out the door, right?
Starting now.
No. The days of the revolving door start now. That being done start now. But I mean, that's what you got to do. Like you need to, and I think Ed's point is he's going to make it very clear to everybody, this is the way this is going to look. Would you like to be here? And for those that say yes, all right, you're on the plan. For those that say no, okay, where would you like to go? How about home? That's the easiest for me to send you home. I do think there'll be a bit of a, culling of the herd sort of as things start, right? For sure. But I really do think that building in some loyalty with your key pieces is an absolute must. And I love what Chris Morris talked about, the number of lockers in the room. Like you can't have it be that way. You cannot have it be bringing in 15, 20 extra guys and then just blowing them all out. And no one's safe and and they want to put an end to that. And I think that matters.
As always, Shoggy, it's good to catch up, man. Appreciate the time.
Yeah, great to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're back. Glad that you're feeling better. City's better when you're on that mic doing your thing.
Oh my God. Stop it, Shoggy.
That's the last nice thing I'm going to say.
You're going to make me blush. All right, buddy. We'll see you later, man.
All right.
There you go. That's Ryan Rishaug Got Your Back podcast. Dropping 3-4 episodes a week with Struddy and Rob Brown. I'm excited for Hervey and Morris.
Let's talk about players off the field and the importance of all that. So that's all. They're saying the right things. But now the decision. You'll be back. Should be back for the head coaching.
I might not. This might be my one day.
That may be the one.
I might be done after today. Who knows? Fraze might be healthy tomorrow. I'm out again.
He's sick.
I'm the filling guy now. I'm the filling guy. It's going to be terrific. What they requested Maximic. They requested Rick Campbell.
Killam was also mentioned.
Killam has been mentioned by Farhan.
I don't know.
I would not want to dabble in promoting people from the Calgary organization right now.
Especially, and Maddie's brought up the point that Killam has interviewed time and time again.
Yeah.
And
I think Mark Killam would be a great head coach for the Golden Bears for a couple of years.
That's where I thought the path would be.
I wonder if when they chat with Maksimic about head coaching opportunity, they also talk with him about, would you come with Rick as the OC?
Yes. There's maybe something there as well.
If Ed Hervey delivers Rick Campbell and Jordan Maksimic at the beginning of this hopeful turnaround, that's real nice work right there.
Yeah, and I think Maksimic's worked with a guy in VAJ who resembles a guy like Trey Ford and the qualities and the traits that he provides. So,
do you read into Ed's comments about Trey at all? I mean, he wants to get to the top of them.
Yeah. He's just like, and you should take it step by step. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, that type of thing. Not ruling anything out or cementing anything either way, but it just adds to the intrigue and the speculation, I guess. But I'd be pretty bullish on him returning, especially if, again, you're bringing in a guy like Maksimic to run things and kind of game plan. He's got the history
with a QB like that. A Grey Cup MVP.
Man, what a story that was, too.
Phenomenal.
I was going to retire for crying out loud.
He's a nice dude. That's an all-time story.
Good on him. Yeah,
that was pretty crazy.
And the Bombers' dynasty cemented of losing 3 straight Grey Cups, 2 of which to Beckham quarterbacks. What a dynasty it is. I did my victory lap already.
I figured you probably did.
Oh, well, I had to.
Yet here you are today wearing Bombers colors.
Yeah.
All right, we got kind of easy trivia. Who wants to play? How's the kind of easy trivia been while I was gone?
Well, Trev played for somebody one day. I think who's a Corey B. Did you proxy
at
for
least?
him?
Did you? No.
I have it here in the sheet. Somebody you played for somebody here.
I don't think I played for anyone.
Yep, no? I got it down on the.
Oh well. I played for someone, I guess.
We've had a lot of things. One guy couldn't get through. The phone was like, we've done it all pretty much. We've had wins, we've had losses. Fraser has been coming up with the questions.
I don't think we had
Has he?
I don't think we had a single loss.
Not a single loss. We've been perfect.
Wow. No. Okay. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep running. If you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual up for grabs. Come and get it. Fire us a text 780-218. Who wants to be the winner on the day of the return? All right, this is what you want. 780-218-9999.
He'll go with you to Mr. Mike's. That's part of the package.
I want to join everybody for everything.
You've been there for a long time.
I've been so down in the dumps. This would be a great. I'll lunch with everybody. Spread whatever's left of me around to the city, which would be great. Let's get to an update right now for Clayburn Services. Kind of easy trivia. 3 questions too many. The Fan Zone. That hurts. All coming up. Jam-packed third hour. Don't go anywhere.
Saquon Barkley rushed for an Eagles record 255 yards, also added a pair of touchdowns as Philly won its 7th straight 37-20 over the Rams. Eagles now 9-2, the loss dropping LA to 5-6. You can join me tonight to wrap Week 12 at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge when the Chargers host the Ravens. Loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. And the Welcome Back Dusty song from Atif will be on heavy rotation. Mitch Marner scoring twice as the Leafs stumped Utah 3-2 in the lone NHL game. Toronto have won 4 in a row. 11 games around the league tonight. Oilers are off until Friday when they visit Utah. Following Saturday's win over the Rangers, the Oilers now 11-9-2 on the season. Oil Kings blanking the Rebels 5-0 on Teddy Bear Toss Day down at Rogers Place. Edmonton wrapping up its 3-game homestand with 3 wins. They're in Calgary Friday to battle the Hitmen. Some baseball news. The Angels are set to sign Yusei Kikuchi to a 3-year, $63 million deal. The Jays dealing Kikuchi to the Astros prior to last season's trade deadline. NBA pictures saw the Cavaliers improved to 17-1 with a 122-108 win over the Raptors. 9 games around the association tonight, including the Raptors in Detroit, to battle the Pistons. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, check out www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and call Jeff, 780-910-6728.
You better watch your step. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes.
It's all gas, no brakes. We win the championship and plan a parade. Step out on the court and it's over quick. All aces, the GOAT like Djokovic. You're at the 3-point line, no time on the clock. You don't even need to watch, you know I'ma hit it. 82-0 plus 16 mo. That's a perfect season and a championship. Me and Zach run tracks like Andre DeGrasse and Usain Bolt. You can't handle it. We at the Estes looking for the belt. We the best like Gretzky, Messi, and Phelps. You want to test me? Better bring help. Calm under pressure. You get overwhelmed. It's all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. It's all gas, no brakes. We win the championship and plan a parade. It's all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. It's all gas, no brakes. We win the championship and plan a parade.
Let's kick it off, gotta cheer for your team. The city of champs, win the gold and the green. Ice in my veins and the turf on my feet. Keeping it up on the waves and the streams. Dusty, Trevin, LTE, Tommy G, Matty I, Jay and Jasmine. After that it's Wonder 3. We got the smoker cooking up with the Latino heat. 3 to 6 on a drive, you know we score when we go live. It's Reed Wilkins and J Mill to glue the seams. Man, really, it's a dream. It's just been a year, but it's clear no one else got us beat. Our own beer and our own booze, and now this. Man, really, it's hard to believe. Great host, better guess, all works, no breaks, no rest. Get the check, hit the mark, no mistakes. We the GOAT like LeBron James or MJ. Anyways, here's to you. You the nasties through and through. Couldn't do this without you, and it's true. Man, here's to year 2.
Here's to year 2. Here's to year 2. Couldn't do it without you. So here's to year 2. EST. It's all gas, no brakes. 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 We win the championship and plan a parade. It's all gas, no brakes. 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 We win the championship and plan a parade.
You better watch your step.
The clear choice for sports is no competition. If you're debating, you're hating it, you just don't listen.
Go! Man, how good is that? I haven't heard that in over a month. It still slaps.
I would have thought if I was Tammy upstairs, I'd hear that bass coming from the basement,
time.
just cranking it.
All gas, no brakes. Yeah, it's one of those things like on TikTok where they turn it down and you get to put your own lyrics over it. That's what I was trying to do in the basement. That's what I was trying to do. All right, you can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. They've got 4-carat oval diamond solitaire, $79.99, 7,000. This is for people you love. Quantities last. It will sell out. That's how popular this thing is. 4-carat oval diamond solitaire for $7,999. It's going to sell out. If you want to get your hands on this, you got to get into Paris Jewelers. A portion of all the sales from their holiday collection will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada as well, which is very cool. They've got their early Black Friday sales on now, which is up to 70% off on select items. The Nielsen Show is brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and his team, especially this week. Black Friday pricing out there as well. They've got a ton of inventory for their 2025 Silverado 1500s. They're moving those bad boys. Best price you're going to find. The best discounts in Edmonton and the surrounding area at South Fort Chevrolet, presenting sponsor of the Nielsen Show. And also, if you're like, not truck, looking for a mid-size SUV that's hard to find. Well, do we have a deal for you? Trailblazers, Equinox. I've driven both of these. Thoroughly enjoyed them. The Tracks as well. They haven't even arrived yet, and they're already moving them. So if you want to reserve one of these bad boys, get it done today. Go check out their website, www.southfortchev.com. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. And as I have been sick for the last 32 days, some of you might be wondering, have I had Popeyes? Mm-hmm. Yes, I have.
The heat would be nice, eh?
Sometimes when you're battling an infection, the doctor did say, I want you to take this codeine medicine to sleep, and I want you to have a Popeyes chicken sandwich for lunch.
You put the medicine in the biscuit.
Yeah. So Tam would come downstairs, I'd be eating a Popeyes chicken sandwich, and she'd look at me and I'd say, Doc's orders.
No.
Right? And then she had to do it. That's the only way. You know what I liked mostly about All Gas No Brakes was Trev singing the Zach parts over in the corner there.
Oh, yeah. He's been dying for this track.
Trev's a huge fan of Zach.
I'm a fan of Zach.
Zach Ice, what do they call him? Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
I'm a fan of Zach.
I love him. I listen to his music all the time on the way here. He's like, are you listening to my song? I'm like, yep. I know every single word almost. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, I love it. We are 20 away from changing 300. So let's get that done. If you're watching on YouTube right now, hammer the thumbs up for us. Boys back together. Shout out Phrase for filling in for us as well.
And Lars Wise says, when do we start the GoFundMe for Dusty? I need a razor fund. Look, CFL season's done.
This is it, man. This is it. I don't have to shave again until, I'm going to do, there's a tournament in Camrose or something in Camrose.
Okay.
December 15th. I'm whipping down there 2 hockey games.
You can let her buck. Hey,
but then after that, man, I don't have to shave till the spring.
At least this week, Oilers are off. We're all off. Yeah, it's kind of one of those.
I like it. I like it. I think it's when I look my best.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So, no, I don't need a GoFundMe. Plus, I get all my razors at Costco. It's like 25 razors for like $19. It's insane.
Tammy likes the rugged look too, doesn't she?
She does.
Come on,
she does.
She lumberjack type of.
The bottom line is, since I've returned to work, I'm a man's man.
Man. Yeah, he's a man.
And that's what's happening with the beard. It's a little itchy.
That's good.
But and it's a few grays in the chin.
A
few grays in the
salt and pepper now.
But not too bad. Yeah. Well,
but actually, if they're on the sides, like it's nice and symmetrical. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I'm going to try to be Wolverine's brother. That's that guy's name. All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia today? Who do we got?
This is Pizza Guy.
Pizza Guy. All right, Pizza Guy is going.
Pizza Boy. My apologies.
Oh, sorry.
A boy?
Pizza Boy.
Okay, because I was like, was this Pizza Guy Justin?
He's a boy.
But it's Pizza Boy. All right, Pizza Boy. I had Royal Pizza on Saturday night. We did a movie night.
Mediterranean.
We did a movie night. We were going to watch Civil War. But then Elizabeth was too scared, and it was right before bed.
Not for her.
So then we watched like a Star Wars Lego Christmas special, which was a big twist, but a real funny special. I was really loving it. But I had some Royal Pizza while I was doing it. It was pretty delicious. All right, let's go to Pizza Boy. Try to win a gift certificate for Mr. Mike's, where the festivities are underway. You're invited to Mr. Mike's Fiesta Fusion.
Say patatas bravas.
Have you missed that?
We've been waiting for it. I've been saying it, but not doing it justice.
Celebrate the flavors of their new Mexican and Spanish-inspired features like patatas bravas, the fusion feast platter, the chili lime ribeye, feature drinks, and more. Plus, $1 from every feature entree sold will help nourish a hungry child. This is great. I love our partners who do great things for kids. Through a local breakfast program in the community, join the Fiesta Fusion at your local Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually. Let's go to Pizza Boy. Pizza Boy, you ready to play kind of easy trivia?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Confident, love it.
It's going to suck if you blow it on my first day back, but fingers crossed. Here we go. I'll start the ticker after read the first question. Or Trev, you got the ticker. All right, Here we go. Who did the Oilers beat on Saturday? Pizza Boy, are you there?
I'm here, and I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
The Rangers.
Yes, there we go. Who scored his first goal as an Oiler on Saturday?
Podkolzin.
Was Podkolzin born in Red Deer or Russia?
Russia.
Which city is home to the NFL's Eagles?
Philadelphia.
What position does Jalen Hurts play? He got it. He got it. Pizza Boy got it.
That is why I did it! At number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year, we took it to the limit.
Take it to the limit!
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
What's that? That was long ticker, right, Trev? Yeah. Short ticker, that guy would have been screwed.
This was like a foot race where the gun goes off. He just stands there. You're like, what are you doing? And then he just kind of gets back in, really making it a very suspenseful first kind of trivia back.
I can't believe
I love it.
He hesitated that long.
Great theater.
I had to step in, and he still got 4 out of 5.
I'm here. He
and he had a crack at 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Tick, 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 tick.
Corey beats his longest ticker ever.
Tick, 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 tick. Pizza Boy, are you there?
Big Uke says Pizza Boy just became Pizza Man.
I don't know. Pizza Boy is Pizza
Child.
He He got it done, though.
He was very confident.
We needed the win.
Damn straight.
We needed the win. He got the win, and he's off to enjoy the Fiesta Fusion at Mr. Mike's with that Mr. Mike's gift card.
Pizza Boy didn't have any timeouts left, so he had to take the 10-second runoff.
That's what it was.
Says. Yeah,
that makes sense. Excuse me, sir. Are you still there? Actually, just give me a second.
Killing the clock.
Killing the clock down. He wanted the short ticker the entire time. All right, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, hey, I haven't even talked about this yet. It looks like all of our streaming issues have been solved.
Maddie came in one show. Maddie was on the desk with me, did one show. It was kind of funny. Him and I were on the desk.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. But he was going back and forth with Nathan at one point and the boys. Nathan and the boys, they're
but they
across
fixed
the pond. It's been great.
I saw some messages. They said that they did something on the server where our stuff goes. And it's,
bada bing, bada
it's back.
boom.
It's,
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. As a listener for the last month, every single time I loaded it on TuneIn or iHeart or wherever, quick as a whistle. That's how quickly it loaded. As quick as a whistle. Yep, just like that.
Yeah.
That's how quick it was. So that's nice to see. You know what? That made me being gone worth it. To get those issues sorted out.
Nathan just hated dealing with you.
Yeah. I mean, Nathan must have thought I was a huge jerk.
Maddie and Lux's Instagram account gets the...
Gets
streaming working.
So tune in, iHeart, everything's we're back, baby. Just in time for the holiday push, which is terrific. Let's get into 3 questions too many today for the great staff at Park Mazda. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
Yes, I do. 3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, where they're having a giant party all day long in the dealership in honor of Dustin Nielson back on the show. Park Mazda Dealers. They got a big cake. They're cutting a cake.
What a guy.
Lunch breaks have been extended to the full hour instead of the regular half. Mitch has been doing that. Balloons, the whole bit. I think a dunk tank, a clown. They've been bringing in a clown.
Good. The old health clown.
Yeah. They're pulling all the stops there at Park Mazda. A fun place, parkmazda.ca, your dealer for life.
Changing 300.
Changing 100.
Oh, nice work, Trev. Can we get to 400? Put the boys back together.
Can we?
It's in the cards, isn't it?
When will we?
Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching over on YouTube. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, just send the link to EST to your friends. I think they'd sign up. I was at a very interesting hockey tournament this weekend because the nasties are out and about, right? There are always nasties in the wild. So, bumped into one guy that I sold an Ovechkin jersey to years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was a nice guy. One of the coaches on the Fort Sask team we played walked by when we were heading to the benches. He goes, "Hey, Dusty, AM Nasty Club member, 37. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I was walking by, and I don't want this to come across rudely, but an older lady, probably in her 60s, I would think. She goes, "Hey, Dusty." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Listen to the show all the time." I thought, oh, thank you, lady. I grabbed her and I kissed her forehead.
Right by the hips.
I kissed her forehead. I was like, mwah. But then I had a couple other guys who were like, "Oh, Dusty, I missed the show." And I said, "Well, if you miss it, just listen on iHeart." And people act like going on iHeart is like going to the moon. They're like, "Well," I said, "No, you download iHeart, you open it, and you click play." And they're like, "Really?" I said, "Yes, really." So we still got to get that out there to people. Because one guy, I looked at him, I said, "Well, yeah, you should listen to the new show. You'd love it." Like, he goes, "Yeah, but it sounds pretty tough." I'm like, "No, it's not tough."
Met my next door neighbor out shoveling over the weekend.
Okay.
Haven't talked to him a lot since we moved in.
Okay.
Like, at all. Which is, everybody shares blame in that. It just happens. We start talking, what do you do? I said, "Well, I do a radio thing I used to," and his eyes start to get a little larger and larger and larger. Nielsen show.
No.
And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, what happened?
And
then so again, same thing. Here's the sportstalk.com.
And then you just listen.
I wrote the link down on his arm, and away we go.
Yeah.
But it's, again, as you said, send it to people. Send it your whole entire contact. Just send the link.
Yeah.
You might as well.
For your friends, for your friends who are, they're like, "I don't know, that's pretty difficult," and then just call them stupid because it's not hard to figure out.
Call them out. Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a phone. You download TuneIn or iHeart. You open it up and you hit play. It's not that hard. Trev, doesn't your whole generation do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's super easy. I was just going to say, my upstairs neighbor is also AM Nasty.
No!
Yeah, huge shout out to him. He calls me YouTube Trev every day when I walk home. He's like,
so he has a celebrity living in his basement suite.
So he's always curious and asking questions. Like, I listen to the guys at the old place, but now it's so great because I'm already up in the morning. I just tune in and I got to see you on the TV today, Trev. And I'm like, oh, thank you. That was really cool. Thank you.
Has he dropped your rent at all?
No.
Not yet.
No, not yet. But
you should threaten to leave a month in.
Yes. Yeah. Show him who's boss. But
shout out to Trev's landlord.
Yeah. He's really cool. He's like, oh, I love it. He's like, great job on the sports updates today, YouTube.
No.
And I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
My God.
So he knows what's up.
Imagine getting the nickname just YouTube.
Just YouTube, yeah.
That's crazy.
Cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's like somebody who blows their nose a lot. Their friends start calling them Kleenex. Right, because it's a brand, and your nickname becomes a brand. I'll go out for beers this afternoon with my buddy Kleenex. That would be a weird thing. All right, do you have a Twitter account still?
Yeah, I do. Cool. Will doesn't, though, hey? But he's on Blue Sky. No, but he doesn't use it. He only has one. You got to see this. Somebody sent it in. Whoever sent it in, send it back in because it was hilarious. But it was a chance. You get your spit bucket. It was a chance for us to go down memory lane. His Instagram and Twitter accounts. He doesn't use them anymore, but they're great to check out. Just great.
My God.
He had some tweets on Darnell Nurse when he was drafted. Very interesting.
Or did he really? Back when he was
He's
drafted?
like, I wonder how this goes. You know, this could go either way.
I love it.
Kind of neat revisionist history.
I love when we used to force phrase to have to tweet back in the day at 1260.
At YEG Sports Talk, though, on Twitter. And on Instagram, Edmonton Sports Talk as well. Get the station accounts follows in. You know everything that's going on.
Of course, you can
Simple
find
as that.
Trev at just YouTube.
At YouTube.
On Twitter. That's his account. It's actually at YouTube_Trev.
Justin says, that's me, and my mom was the lady on the crutches.
No.
Does this make sense?
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense. We had a good game against Fort Sask. 1-1 tie. I get very emotional coaching, I've realized, in like games where scores are kept.
When there's a record of
I'm gonna have to dial it back a bit, I think. Whatever. Let's get into it. Question number 1. Eric, what does Dusty need to know about around the office since he's been gone? And Dusty, what are you worried about? Yeah, give me some intel.
Well, the basketball game's notched up so much. In fact, I'm actually going to be relocating because I'm so scared that my drinks are good. It's getting intense in here. Reed, and there's a big league. There's tape on the floor. There's like a key, but not an actual basketball key. It's kind of a just jaunted key. And there's some sort of a, what do you call it, crib? There's a crib league now.
I saw a bloody chessboard sitting over here.
James will be bringing in a crokinole board as well. We got a crokinole board coming in.
Where are we going to put a crokinole board?
You put it on that table that'll be vacating. It's
I
perfect.
can't wait to play that.
Size.
That'll be fun.
Oh,
But what has happened around here?
It's a games room, baby.
Zach and Maddie playing chess the other day. It was kind of cool. I played crib the other day.
I checkmated him 4 times in one morning. You just walk up there.
Reed and I have played a game of 21 for about 3 weeks in a row now, every single day.
Nobody's finished it yet?
No, we finish.
Oh, you play every day?
Yeah. He's like, Trevor, 11? I'm like, yes, sir. And then off we go. Play a quick game, back to work. It's good.
And then Reed's been sinking a shot to kick off
I've
the show.
been watching those on Instagram.
One take all the time. It's amazing.
Reed Curry. What's his name?
And a hell of a beard.
Steph Wilkins.
Too.
His beard. My beard's intimidating.
Yeah.
When I said to my beard, I said, we got to go back to work today. My beard was like, no, not with Reed's beard there. So anyway, his beard looks great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm a little bit worried that nobody's doing work anymore.
I think Reed might have a side job around the season, hey?
We'll get to the bottom.
That beard, hey?
Maddie's playing crib, but the landline's not working. You know what I mean? Like, something's got to get taken care of.
We haven't had a meeting.
Well, we'll have a meeting probably next week. Yeah, we'll definitely do a meeting
to discuss.
All right, question number 2. What would you guys say is the exact right amount of time to be gone from work, whether it's vacation or sick or whatever?
You don't want to be gone too long because, as you've been mentioning, sometimes you get out of there. Like, I hate missing time.
A month is way too long.
Way too long. I don't even a week. Sometimes you get so mentally disjointed that you're like, what the hell? Passwords.
A couple of days take to a weekend, so you got like 4 days away.
Yeah, but the regular weekend is kind of Rip City Step has sent in Will Fraser's Blue Sky posts. I don't know if you want to hear them.
Definitely have to check that out.
A week is a good one. A week. Usually a week in the summer, a week during Christmas. That's what I do, and then you go on.
A
2
week
is pretty tough.
2 is too much. I was leaning towards 2. But 2, that's still a lot being
Fraser
gone.
always took a solid 2.
He was a 2 week
vacation in a 2-week block.
Trev, what do you think? Perfect amount of time to be gone from work.
This one's tricky.
It's at least a week.
For sure a week. I'd probably go with a week. I think that like 5 days off because then you got your weekend. So, yeah, so I guess 7 days you get off there. I'd go with a week. I think 2 weeks is a little too much for me. I know I took 2 weeks off in the summer, and I was kind of like, and it makes it...
Yeah, like the second half of the second week, you're kind of like, oh, man, this is a wasted time off right here.
Yeah, so I like just a week. A week is good enough. It's great, actually.
I think it's unanimous.
A week is
Let's
perfect.
say a week.
It's solid, yeah. And then you get a Monday off. Tuesday, you feel each day of the week, and you live them as you do. And
yeah,
I like that answer.
All right, question number 3. Dusty, if you ever leave for good, would you turn the keys to EST over to Phrase full time? Oh boy, like boss keys.
Oh, like
you guys have worked with him for a month.
Like the brand.
Could you see Phrase running Edmonton Sports Talk and Matthew Iwanek reporting directly to Will Fraser
into the ground? Yeah. Maybe. Well, the show's all right. I mean, but yeah, the running of the.
I don't know if I could. I mean, he's a responsible adult.
Would he have the direct line to HR daddy like you do? Like all you got to think about.
I mean, my dad is not his father.
All the stuff off the exactly.
Yeah, that could be difficult.
The communicate might be a little different, but no, I mean it's you'd kind of taking you out and putting him in would more be like a running by numbers type of thing. It would be you have to spread it out now. He'd be there, but he wouldn't be the focal point. So,
no, I mean if I'm sitting here looking at options of turning the keys over to the heir apparent. I mean, Matty Iwanek's done a pretty good job.
Well, he's the CFO, COO.
He's done a good job. Jay has run a business in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
Reed is a mature, responsible adult.
With a beard. Maybe even HR daddy.
Too much power there. I mean, I would not do that.
The reins, hey?
You know what? Maybe I just go full nepotism and hand the reins over to Marshall Bokees Nielsen.
Wouldn't that be something?
Hey?
Yeah, youngest. He
slides in.
Yeah,
CEO at the age of 12,
like a Richie Rich type of scenario.
Yeah,
here.
pretty much.
He comes in with his tuxedo every day.
Yeah. Just sits in the office. And just calls people out on everything. That's it. I could see it. I mean, I'd be proud.
I got
of him.
time for it.
I'd be proud of him. I think that would be good. All right, 7802. Man, I know exactly what Strummy's talking about, but I know it from when I used to work with him all the time. First thing he would do would change the name of the show to In That Sports Talk. His phrase always says In That because he always he talks and he wants to explain it and then he goes In That. I remember that from back in the day. That's funny, Strummy.
Well, he taught Trev also yes and. Right? Remember that, Trev? Remember that?
What
old
was that?
chestnut?
Tell me about the yes and.
Yes and? Well, how you just kind of need to, and sometimes in life, and you got to kind of roll with the yes and, when somebody has you do yes and that was, I think, one of his many big lessons that he kind of
you must have learned a lot about life from Phrase.
Oh, yes.
Trev,
before the show, after the show, every single day for the past month.
Oh, what a beauty, Phrases.
Yeah, good morning, Phrase. I tell you what, I'm like, how are you? Like, simmer
he
down,
comes
Phrase,
in hot in
simmer.
the morning. Eh?
Oh, he's
we talked
ready.
about him having like an Art Bell type of show before the morning show. Like a 4 to 6.
Yeah.
And we get in here after, and he's kind of like, taking calls from across the country, talking about weird things. Like, not even sports, just like him. If you want advice, anything like that.
The proper way to put peanut butter and jam on the same sandwich.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that would be funny.
4 to 6.
God. I don't even think that's a bad idea. I mean,
what's there to lose? Right.
All right. That was fun. We still got lots to get to. We got that Hurts coming up for James H. Brown. And we're going to get to the fan zone. We were going to go fan zone at 7:45, but Ryan Rishaug had to join us a little bit earlier today. So we're going to go fan zone coming up next. Just over a quarter of the way into the season. Would you describe the Edmonton Oilers as a surefire playoff team? Contender for the division? Do you still view them as a legitimate Stanley Cup contender? What is the answer to that question? A quarter of the way into the season, the Edmonton Oilers are blank. Let's fill it in with the fan zone.
Wild card team.
I mean, there's so many different things. Who knows? So we will get into that coming up with the fan zone, and we'll get to that Hurts as well. But right now, let's get to an update. Man, this place This is all I've been doing for a month. Sitting and sleeping. Sitting and sleeping. Sitting and sleeping.
Sleeping and sitting.
That's the story of my life. Eric's got more on that with the update.
Week 12 in the NFL wraps up tonight in the Harbaugh Bowl when the Chargers host the Ravens. You can join me for this one. We'll be at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge with loaded burgers on special throughout the evening. Last night, Saquon Barkley rushed for an Eagles record of 255 yards with a pair of touchdowns. Philly win their 7th straight with a 37-20 victory over the Rams. Mitch Marner scored a pair of goals as the Leafs dumped Utah 3-2 in the lone NHL game yesterday. 11 games around the league tonight. The Oilers are off until Friday when they visit Utah following Saturday's win over the Rangers. Edmonton sit at 11-9-2. Some of those games dotting tonight's NHL schedule. We'll see the Wild at home to the Jets, Carolina hosting Dallas, Florida welcoming in Washington, and the Avs on the road to visit the Lightning. Sticking with hockey, the Oil Kings blanking the Rebels 5-0 on Teddy Bear Toss Day down at Rogers Place. Edmonton wrapping its 3-game homestand with 3 wins. They're in Calgary Friday to battle the Hitmen. Some baseball news as the Angels are expected to sign Yusei Kikuchi to a 3-year, $63 million deal. The Jays dealing Kikuchi to the Astros prior to last season's trade deadline. 9 games around the NBA tonight, including the Raptors back in action. They're in Detroit to take on the Pistons. Raptors falling yesterday 122-108 to the Cavs. Cleveland now 17-1. Black Friday savings are on now at Sit and Sleep today until Sunday. All Canadian-made custom sofa sectionals and bedrooms are all on sale. Save up to 50% off select floor samples, 20% off home accents, and more. Plus, make no payments until 2026 interest-free. Also, make any purchase over $999 this week and receive free local white glove delivery with full setup and installation. Don't miss the massive Black Friday furniture and mattress sales event on now at Sit and Sleep in South Edmonton. Common next to Planet Fitness.
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid, about 75 pounds on the basketball court against the neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center.
I call you when I need you, my heart's on fire.
When it was all said and done, he was a little upset, so he punched me in the mouth.
You come to me, wild and wild.
My uncles were over on the side, observing, talking amongst themselves, adult things.
When you come to me,
when he punched me in my mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. And you know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back and he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needed Big Brother to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eyes and I said, my uncle's not going to help me. And I punched him in the face. Then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do?
you're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. Stuck on your heart.
8:33 on the Nielsen Show. Shut away on the wall for the Cave is Reed Pump Up Song remix. Gotta love it. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us as well. We can make a strong push for 400. People get their thumbs up, fingers going. 334. Let's go. It's
a great goal.
Hammer the thumbs up. I think we can do it today. If you're watching over on YouTube, don't be shy. Like the channel, like the show. Sub to Edmonton Sports Talk as well. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, tell your friends how easy it is to consume EST. Nielsen Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Black Friday pricing on now. Check them out, www.southfortchev.com. They got Equinox, Trailblazers, Tracks, all on the way in. Reserve one now, because if you don't reserve one, you might not be able to get one. They're going to move quick, and they've got the best pricing you will find, the best discounts in Edmonton and the surrounding area on the 2025 Silverado 1500s here with their Black Friday pricing. All right, let's dive into the fan zone here, boys.
fan zone.
The fan zone for fans first. By fans, for fans, no fees. What more do you need to know? It's the best way to get into a sporting event. It's the most affordable way to get in. Get your tickets. for the rest of the Oilers season. www.fansfirst.ca. Of course, the Oilers don't play until Friday. Be on the road.
They could be out of a wild card spot.
Well, I mean, with the games, yeah.
Getting on the topic here.
Oh, boy. All right, so that's what we're doing today in the fan zone. A quarter of the way into the season, the Edmonton Oilers are blank. Fill it in right now. What are the Edmonton Oilers a quarter of the way into the season? Give it to us. 780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox, or hit us up over the Nasty Chat as well. Let's do it. A quarter of the way into the season, the Edmonton Oilers are blank. Danny Moss over there says the Oilers are underperforming. Matthias Janmark is third on the team in scoring.
Yeah, we're trying to whittle this thing down to like one word. Like one
no,
correct,
I mean just
because you can say
the team, right?
Better than the Sharks, better than the Ducks, probably better than the Kraken, probably better than Canucks.
I don't know if I can list off like 9 things.
No, but Will talked about the division too and how it's kind of always up for grabs. The Pacific right now.
Yeah, the Pacific doesn't look overly
like. Are the Flames? Are the Flames a true number 2? I know that they've won 4 in a row here. The Kings are playing above maybe what you would expect of them. But aside from the Golden Knights, to which the Oilers played them pretty good the last time they were here, like. Is it their division in waiting once they just get their act together? And will they be afforded the time due to the division and nobody really pulling away and running away with it, right? Like, things will settle back down to earth. The Oilers' shooting percentage should rise
improve.
up by some players and a team as general. So it's just kind of waiting for them to go and grab. They just need to go grab it.
Trev, what do you think? Edmonton Oilers, a quarter of the way into the season, are blank. Somebody just said rounding into playoff form, which is straight up coming out of the Rangers game. But what do you think, Trev?
They're slow starters.
Yeah.
They're frustrating. And
I'm seeing some frustratings in the inbox.
Yeah, a lot of frustration. And I didn't believe that until I had to look at it. Matthias Janmark, look at that. Tied for 4th in scoring with Matthias Ekholm, Darnell Nurse, and Evan Bouchard.
Yeah, Janmark's third among forwards.
Third among forwards. Would you look at that? Here we are. Yeah, so dare I... No, I know a lot of people are saying that their shooting percentage is down, but they're also leading the lead. They're like 3rd for shots on nets or 2nd in shots on goal. But I mean, we've been talking about it for the last few games, like especially the Minnesota game. It was perimeter. Like they couldn't. Get
to the net, bang in some of these pucks. Yeah.
Yes, and dare I say they're pretty as well. They're too pretty. But I mean, this last game was the first game where I said at the beginning, it was so nice to watch that game. And you were just like, wow, okay, this team has what it takes, and they do. And I think you're going to start seeing that. I really think that this team is, I hope that they're going to start, figuring out their game, but it sure looks like it, like from the last game. And you just got to build off of that. So they are slow starters. They have been last year. It looks like they are this year as well. But in saying that, they are better than last year at this point. So they're going to turn it around. It's a matter of time, but I think that the pieces are starting to fall into place.
I think I would say a quarter of the way into the season, the Edmonton Oilers are a surefire playoff team, and I'd leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Like, you get the glimpse of what they could be capable of, even missing a couple guys against the Rangers. But outside of that, it's been a very even that's just one game, right? Like,
yeah,
if they were to play again tomorrow night, I mean, I could see them.
You said last season worst start, but you could also see them go on one of those streaks again, and again with the division, how it's kind of separating every single night. You could be either up or down. If they can pull off a streak, they got it in them. I think still.
Yeah, I think they could pull off a 6 or 7 game streak, but I don't think they're winning 12 or 13 in a row with this team.
No, maybe not. But we didn't see them losing so many out of the gate either. And I just think when you've got the 2 players that they do, everyone else can kind of, if they get their stuff together, kind of latch onto that and follow it. And I mean, again, some of those top 6 forwards. I mean, we talk about the shot volume and the shooting percentage, and a lot of those shots maybe being low risk, but you got to think a few of those guys, if they kind of drum up that percentage and hit, you never know.
Yeah, like
it could be pretty dangerous.
They're in an okay spot right now with the following guys essentially being a non-factor offensively. Nuge, sorry, but based on expectations, you've been very disappointing offensively. Hyman, Arvidsson, Skinner.
Can you make it onto the other hand?
Like it's Adam Henrique.
Sure.
Adam Henrique has done nothing offensively.
Half of those guys hit and find it.
Yeah, I mean, if you get some of those guys going,
I mean,
it should elevate things. Like right now, it's not crazy to say the Edmonton Oilers are a 2-man team.
Not when you look at the numbers.
Go look at their numbers. McDavid and Draisaitl are far and away carrying the team more so than they had to the last couple of years.
But a couple more ingredients to that, and you're at 11-9-2 right now.
Yeah, you're in an okay spot with a bunch of guys that you think should contribute more. Do they contribute more? Yet to be seen. But they should. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Brett in the fan zone says, guys, this has been the story of the Oilers basically since McDavid arrived. Even in that 2017 year. They start to click in December, and then in the new year they go on a run and secure second in the division.
The December schedule is very interesting too. They got there's a few tough outs. But I think you're looking at the Ducks, you're looking at the Sharks, you're looking at the Senators coming to town, a pair against the Ducks, early January there. But you can make some hay in the division-wise. Now you got a couple against the Golden Knights as well coming down the pipe, but that'll loom large. You're 4 points back of them today. You can go a long way. Do a lot of work in December.
Mick from Beaumont says they are a wolf in sheep's clothing. They'll start to ramp it up. They will become more physical as the season moves along.
It's an older team that knows when to flip the switch, you could argue, if that's your...
The Oilers, a quarter of the way through the season, are like me after 2 bottles of wine. Slow starter, messy and disappointing, with a glimpse of greatness and potential for so much more.
We know you got it in you. We know you got it in you, right?
Man, what's happened to this monitor while I've been gone? There's like coffee stains all over it.
Oh, boy. Is there any glue on it?
Why would there be glue on it?
Well, the glue guy is in that seat.
Oh, yeah, glue guy.
You know he's around when you see some...
Yeah, but we got to clean this monitor.
Sticky over here.
Gross here. Guys, the league isn't ready for a red-hot Podkolzin. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, too. As Brett said, this has been the story of the Oilers since McDavid arrived. But he's talking favorably about, a guy that they've been playing with in the top 6 in Podkolzin. He names names. We haven't seen that before.
Rob from the Grove says, guys, the Oilers are exactly who they are right now. Just good enough, but not elite. The fan zone.
Yeah.
For fans first.
They're a David Jiricek away, hey?
Oh, I've heard they've been linked. They've been linked. Somebody did say they're going to be a juggernaut after the trade deadline. And we'll see who gets acquired. But, yeah, we'll see. That Owen guy is in it. Says, guys, the Oilers are slowly waking up. KR says the Oilers are pushing 600 hockey. This one says the Oilers are average. So, I mean, there's a lot rolling in here. 780-218-9999 is where you can chime in. This one says, guys, I'm not sure they can be considered back until they win like 5 in a row with convincing metrics to support that. So this guy wants the wins, and wants like the Fenwick wins.
Again, it was all wild when you were up. That Montreal Ottawa back to back. I mean, they were a lottery team after Monday. After Tuesday, it was like we're back. Like it wasn't even the pendulum swung, baby. Like they were a non-playoff team one night, they were a playoff team the next night. Drove Fraze wild.
Oh, Fraze probably was not aware of.
He's like, they're fine. Yeah, well, he doesn't care. If you asked him this question today, he's like, you don't even have the discussion.
They'll be okay.
Like they'll be fine. But again, the rabid fan base, understandably so, game by game, period by period.
I like this message from Zulu. I don't know if I can fully agree with him, but I'll give it to him. Guys, I still actually think this team has more potential than the Game 7 Stanley Cup final team. I have probably taken it a little bit too far.
But if everything, again, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final, right? And it's much like Saturday against the Rangers. You got a week off. You're kind of pulling out all the stops there.
Yeah.
If this team plays up to potential with the names on the roster and they're perfectly healthy, I understand what he's putting down there. They're not.
Yeah,
they do.
I mean, there's a reason why so many people were picking them as Cup favorites at the beginning. It wasn't just McDavid and Draisaitl. It was getting Jeff Skinner. It was getting Arvidsson. And
Tucci
right now,
had the summer of his life.
Yeah,
right.
Like we were all we were all pumped for it. I certainly was. But Jeff Skinner on pace for 8 goals this season. Adam Henrique as well. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as well. Zach Hyman, 3 goals, quarter of the way in. 12 goals. He's on pace for 12 goals this season. So
like those guys will get going.
They will get going for sure. And I feel like that's why, because you saw what these players were able to do. And you were like, wow, like this team, like Jeff Skinner had a few good looks. Like you can go throughout the first line to the fourth line. Like a lot of players just showed up that night. And so I get what he's saying. Like you look at the players on the roster and they should be, just as good, if not better than last year.
I think the one area where I'd hesitate a little bit is that we saw a little bit with Arvidsson before he got hurt, but you should have expected Arvidsson to miss 10 to 15 games on the season. I mean, that's just, it's a thing. I don't necessarily know that the chemistry is there just yet. I think that's got to come. And once that's another
winter
thing that
and
will
spring,
continue to
This is still
get better.
preseason.
So, yeah.
It sucks going to games and paying outstanding money to see a
the
team
division
that
is
really,
still there for the taking because there's no Winnipeg Jets or Minnesota Wild in this division.
And they're old grizzled vets, and they'll know when to turn it on. And a healthy Evander Kane that a lot of people are now kind of pouring into the nasty Chad and Paris Jewelers inbox. Trade acquisition, right? Like,
and Bowman better not botch this deadline. There's got to be a significant addition for the team's needs. Not just sexy name that you throw in. You're like, man, the Oilers landed another top six winger. Meanwhile, you got Stetcher and Emberson hanging on for dear life. It's such a clear addition that needs to be. I don't know how they could botch it. It's just a matter of
the league knows what you need.
Other teams to the defenseman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Oilers are going to add a defenseman at some point. The defenseman is going to be either right-handed or left-handed. It's going to be a defenseman who can either skate great or maybe not skate that much. And it's going to be a defenseman who can either move the puck or defend against people moving the puck.
Over 5 feet tall.
You heard it first here right now. No, the defense is going to be
4'10",
shorter than 6'8".
Wow.
Taller than 5'9".
You've narrowed that down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are speculating.
Oh yeah,
this is like the mystery player days.
Guess away. Guess away. That'll be fun. All right, there you go. That is the fan zone for fans first. The Oilers don't play again until Friday, so we'll have the exact same conversation tomorrow on the show. I can't wait for that. That's going to be
it's a great week.
Great.
Yeah.
Get your tickets for the Oilers. Fansfirst.ca. All right, let's dive into that. Hurts. Man, we have a pretty jam-packed show. Hey, I really didn't realize being gone for a month.
No room.
There's no room to just sort of mess around and
no.
Have fun. We have so many great partners. Let's keep rolling. That Hurts brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law. If you've been injured in an accident, first of all, that sucks. Second of all, go to jameshbrown.com. They'll make sure you get taken care of. I figure if that hurts, I kind of got to go back to missing 32 days of work. It's
a good bit for us who've been having fun with it. But yeah, it sucks for you and it sucks for listeners and viewers and
everybody. It was
the
sickest I've ever been in my entire life.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about the actual medical.
Like the first, and I've never officially got diagnosed, Like they just kept giving me different medicines. And I think it's kind of worked. I still have a bit of a cough. A lot of people have coughs right now. So
because sleeping was an issue for you. Everybody's like, "Oh, Dusty's still." I'm like, "Well, maybe he's not so sick. But he's not getting the sleep." Yeah?
It was a combination of both. Like, first of all, I don't get much sleep, even when I'm healthy.
Right.
So the first couple of days, it was like fever and chills, and then Wednesday morning, like the very first week, Wednesday morning, I woke up and I was like, "Oh, actually, I don't feel that bad."
Same thing
I
happened to me.
Maddie, I was like, "I'm going to go to Halloween. I'm going to be in for Halloween tomorrow." And then the Wednesday afternoon, it started to get worse. And then it was like this combination of so stuffed up and the tickle in the throat with the cough that there were 2 nights over a 2-week stretch that I did not sleep at all. So then I was up for like 36, 40 hours. I couldn't nap. It was impossible to sleep. When I was on the road for the West Final, the only way I could fall asleep was sitting up in the middle of the bed with all 6 hotel pillows in front of me.
Yeah.
And I just leaned like this. And I'd fall asleep, and then I'd fall over.
I thought you'd be in the cuck chair.
Oh, man. I could have sat there. I guess I tried it.
Yeah.
I had one of those that was a couch. I tried to sleep there. Yeah, so it was the worst. And then I went through a week of antibiotics, got no better, went back in, saw a different doctor, and I was like, listen, man, I said, I didn't sleep more than 2 to 2.5 hours for 2 straight weeks at night. So I went into the guy. He looked at me right away. Like my eyes were like this. I had like it was awful. I looked like a bag of A. And I looked at him. I said, "Look at me. I'm as sick as a dog. Look at me." And he said, he goes, "I'm going to give you this stuff. We don't prescribe it that much because it's kind of addicting." Ooh. So then I was like, I'm going to become addicted to codeine. So then I hesitated taking the medicine because I didn't want to become a drug addict. And then finally Tammy's like, "Take the damn medicine." So I was like, okay. So I did that. And it finally, I mean, the first night wasn't great, but like the second night, I slept for like 8 straight hours. Felt like $1 million.
Codeine cowboy.
2 nights ago, I was like my second last dose or something. I slept for just over 12 straight hours. It was insane. I went to bed at like 9:30.
Did you whisper yourself good night every time you took it? Like, good night, fade away. Did you, I know it's frustrating that long, did you ever experiment with any like home remedies? Because you get to a point where you're like, I'm going to try anything.
I didn't do home remedies.
Mustard on your chest, like that type of thing.
I don't, I guess I'll just admit it, but.
Onions in your socks.
I had some gummies. I was trying to knock myself out with some gummies.
CBD?
Whatever, the type that puts you to sleep.
Wow.
I went into the store.
Will
I said,
love
"Listen,
that.
I need to sleep."
Will loves the gummies.
So the lady gave me some stuff. She's like, "Here, have this." I was like, "Okay." First night it worked. Second night I just sort of pushed through. It wasn't good. So it was just, it was bad, man.
Gummies, eh?
Yeah. I tried everything.
And then it's tricky because you wake up.
NyQuil?
And then you've got
NyQuil for a while.
The cough. Like that's the worry. Like going to sleep, but then you wake up.
And you wake up and you can't fall back to sleep because of the cough. Like it was just, it sucked, man.
So like liters of NyQuil. You finished the codeine.
Well, I got into NyQuil, but then when I got this other codeine, I was like, well, I don't need the NyQuil to try to sleep because I got this other stuff. That was a game changer. I saved the bottle. So next time like something like this happens, I'm just going straight to the doctor and being like, give me this. Yeah. This actually got me better. Like
I need it.
So yeah, it was crazy. Managed to hang the Christmas lights. So that was good.
There you go. Okay. So I was going to ask about the ODR, and then I did earlier on in the show. But
the boards are stacked.
You did, didn't you?
No, Tammy did.
Oh,
okay. Tammy took all the boards out of the shed, stacked them. So they're stacked. But now with all this snow, I'm going to have to shovel down the rink and then put the boards in and then start. And this is we got 2 weeks of flooding weather here. So I got to
Don't forget to plant the loony.
I got to hit it hard. So yeah. Anyway, that hurts. The last 5 or 6 days. I'm really, Tammy was so right. There's no way I could have come in last Thursday. I was still not.
Well, you really want to do that Tales of the North for the Wild.
I did.
I know you were up for it.
I did. I had all these funny names for Kaprizov and everything, but it didn't happen. All right, let's see here. Oh yeah, you know what? I do have a Teef song. We can make that the sound
welcome
of the
back.
day, maybe. I
got my phone. If you want to hear it on heavy rotation, join me tonight, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. You can hear it as many times as you want. I'll play it full bar.
Let me see. Maybe we'll make that our sound of the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, that hurts. The last 32 days is what hurt.
Chris G asks, have you drank any alcohol over the last 32 days? A sip or a drip? Anything like that? Like a brandy?
No, you know what? You know how hard it is to go to Grey Cup and not have a drink? I basically hid in my room at Grey Cup. I was feeling okay. Like I could have mingled a bit, but I didn't want to get anybody else sick.
Yeah.
But after Grey Cup, I did go to our after party and had a couple drinks.
And to
be honest with you, I slept great that night.
A white wine spritzer?
And then last night, I had some spice rum. Last night was the first night at home. I was just like, Tammy came downstairs. I was sitting there. She goes, "What are you having?" I said, "I'm having a drink." She goes, "Wow, you're back." I said, "Yeah." And then she said, "Well, here's a list of things you can do tomorrow after work." I was like, "Oh, no." Then I coughed and said, "I'm sick as a dog." Yeah, come on now. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. Huge shout out to Bruce and the team for not tearing down the Nielson Show logo while I was
Dream
gone.
Team was this close to getting in here. I think they were booked for today.
Yeah. Were they coming in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, that would have been kind of scary, eh? Well, anyway, I'm glad I made it back before the changes were made. What did we learn on the show today, boys?
Kikuchi on the way.
Yeah. Tell me this.
He's going to be a Halo 3-year deal. Yusei Kikuchi, former Jays pitcher, of course, dealt to the Astros prior to last season's trade deadline. He is off to sign with the Angels. Apparently, 3 years, $63 million, and it looks like one Patrick Laine practicing in a regular jersey. I know.
Good for him.
Speaking of that,
what is this? He's just leaving.
That's a
weird thing to jump away. Trev, what'd you learn? What'd you learn today about that?
I learned that you had a spit bucket.
I did at the West Final.
Not only you did, the late great Bob Cole as well also had a spit bucket.
Murray
for the
McCourt's in the house.
last 10 years.
Yeah,
of his
Bob
career.
Cole had a spit bucket for the last 10 years of his career.
Didn't know that. Now I do.
Hawking loogies all the time.
Now, our good friends at Wayne's, I popped in there as I have been every kind of Thursday, and they had something else here, and I thought of you, and I figured, I'll save it till he gets back, but a gift for you, and welcome back there.
Oh, boy.
Isn't that something, hey?
Look at this, a Jocelyn Tebow.
I don't know what those are. Trev, I gave you a couple. You remember what
Catch.
they were? Were they Timu
Is this like
Solanian
a
or
paw
something?
rip-off or something? Or?
Yeah, it's the magnet thing. You throw down a thing and pick them up or whatever, apparently back in the day. But
Always was a tough run for Jocelyn Tebow in Montreal because he was traded for Patrick Waugh.
Yeah.
You know,
And then it was him and Facette, right, in Colorado? Was that the
they were
the
together
dream team
in
there? Yeah.
Quebec, I guess it would have been. Jocelyn Tebow, the forgotten child in the Montreal goaltending thing, because they went from Patrick Waugh, then they had Jocelyn Tebow, then eventually got to Jose Theodore, who won a Hart Trophy. Then they got to Carey Price, who won a Hart Trophy. But no Hart Trophy for Jocelyn Tebow.
The one that got away.
Oh, you wanted to trade Patrick Waugh. I was in grade 9. A buddy went home for lunch, found out they traded Waugh, came back. I remember I was at my locker, and he's like, Dusty, I've traded Patrick Waugh. I was 15 years. I cried immediately. And then I found out that they got a couple pretty good players back and Jocelyn Tebow. And I was just like, you know what? Maybe Tebow's the next Patrick Waugh. He wasn't, but what are you going to do? All right, let's get to your sound of the day. I'm trying to load this Atif song in here, but I don't think it's...
I've been playing the songs off my phone into the mic if you want me to. I can...
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Here we go.
The quality, it's how he records them, it sounds better that way.
Hey, do you think...
real to real.
You think it actually sounds
Straight
better
tape.
this way?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. This is Atif. What's it called? Oh, Welcome Back song for Dusty. It makes sense.
Dustin Nielson.
Here we go. Let's
Welcome
go.
back, Dusty.
All right.
Welcome back, welcome back. Bum, 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 bum. Dusty Nielson is back. Bum, 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 bum. You were away for about a month. Bum, 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 bum. Whatever was ailing you is now you're better. Bum, 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 bum. Lots of things have happened since you went away. Bum, 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 bum. Ed Irvin's back with the Elks. Matt Verstappen won the F1 championship. Will Frazier showed the boys how to wax. Bum, 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 bum. And Will and the EST ran very smoothly. Bum, 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 bum. Remember, you're the bread and butter of EST. Bum, 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 bum. And everybody missed you. So welcome back, Dusty Nielson. Bum, 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 bum.
Atif, I like the part when you went bum, 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 bum.
3 packs a day now for old Atif.
I was going to say,
whoa.
Sounds like Atif's sicker than I was.
Holy heck.
Holy smokes. All right, Great Ass Frazier says all the things are right in the world again. Yeah, I guess.
Great Ass Frazier.
I guess. All right, let's get to your text of the day today for A and W. Get that gift certificate to A and W. Good things come to those who wait, and you've waited long enough. A&W's mushroom mozzarella is finally back for a limited time only. Available in 3 sizes. We got the buddy, we got the mama, and we got the uncle burger, which is something you like to see every once in a while, and it's kind of funny when he's there, but he also comes with mushrooms and mozzarella. Timeless classic. Comes fully loaded. Mouth-watering mozzarella, cremini mushrooms, grilled onions, and grainy Dijon aioli. So why are you still waiting? Taste the mushroomy, mozzarella-y goodness at your nearest A&W, starting at just $4.99. Oh, baby. The mushroom matzo burger is back. I love to get those with no mushrooms. Totally rattles everybody. Yeah, I'll get the mushroom mozzarella. No, hold the mushrooms over.
Yeah, you're a sucker for that Dijon, eh?
Yeah, that's I love the grainy Dijon.
Yeah, baby.
That's the key. All right, let's get to your text of the day today.
Could be sneaking in here and commenting on Atif's song. That could be
I don't think we want to reward Atif's song in any way, even if it's remotely through somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, no, I had one. Is
it Hampton Steve sending in the Elliot Friedman tweet that just dropped?
No, what was that?
You want to see this puppy?
Yes, I do.
I'll read it for you right now. Elliot Friedman. In the aftermath of their 6-2 loss in Edmonton Saturday, the Rangers have made it very clear they're interested in making moves and shaking up their roster. Among the names indicated are Chris Kreider and Jacob Trouba, although other options would be considered.
Well, if there's anything that's ever going to make your team better, it's trading Chris Kreider or Jacob Trouba.
And other options. It's a fire sale.
So they're looking at blockbuster trading Trouba for another big name defenseman.
Let the games begin.
I wonder if there's any interest in Ty Amberson.
Excuse me, would you have, might I offer you a Ty Amberson?
What do you think? Here's your text of the day. Babbage Stash. Darnell Nurse falls down a well and his play goes cross. Kicked by a mule, it comes back. I don't know.
Love it.
Babbage Stash, text of the day. Congratulations, buddy. Excellent Christmas vacation reference.
Incorporates her Halloween costume, the whole bit.
Everything.
Bit of the time of the year. It's
great. One more time. Where are you going to be tonight?
Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Heated underground parking as well. It's the Harbaugh Bowl. Ravens. Oh, baby. It's the best. You don't need a ticket. Yeah. You don't need to pay. Nothing like that.
You can go down. Anybody can just willy-nilly go down.
It's a bit of a nobody knows. It's a bit of a secret, but you can get down there. Always spots available. Yes, heated underground parking. Loaded burger on special tonight. Jocelyn will be there. She's looking for the record, and her son turning 18 years young today. So it's his birthday. We're going to celebrate big time. Ravens, Chargers, Harbaugh Bowl, Central Casino Sports Bar and Lounge tonight. Fort Road, Edmonton. Going to be great.
Do you want to win a gift certificate to Century Casino? Baltimore Ravens -2.5 road favorites tonight. Chargers +2.5 at home as the dog. If you like the Ravens -2.5, text in Ravens to 780-218-9999. If you like the Chargers plus the 2.5 points, text Chargers. If you're watching over on YouTube today, turn on autoplay. Take you right on over to the Hangout. Maddie, Tommy, Murray McCourt, locked and loaded, ready to go for you there. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11. And, of course, we got Oil Stream today at high noon right here at Edmonton Sports Talk. Guys, it was fun to be back. So excited. So excited. Trev, I missed you, man.
I missed you too.
Guys, so nice to be back. Your mustache is terrific.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for the Nielson Show. Hangout's coming up. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, stick around. Hangout just around the corner. For YouTube, Trev, Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielson. It's good to be back. Take it easy. Talk to you tomorrow.